subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Chapter 101, Castle Fruit, plus Unshakable Lock, Conqueror's Winding. When Crocodile sees the entwined haki on Luffy's knee, his eyeballs are about to pop out in fright. Who is qualified to entangle Conqueror's haki? Let's put it this way, his crocodile grows so big, he has never seen others use Conqueror's Winding. He just heard about it. He knows that One Piece Roger will use this, but when people use it, he, Crocodile, is not there. He also knows that Whitebeard will use this, and he's fought Whitebeard before, but obviously, he is not qualified for Whitebeard to use Conqueror's Winding. In short, in his cognition, those who can use Conqueror's Winding are all kings or leaders of all ages. Although Crocodile has never seen what Conqueror's entanglement looks like before, but this does not prevent him from instantly distinguishing it when he encounters a Conqueror's entanglement. This is Conqueror's Winding. Before Luffy's knee touched Crocodile, the violent Conqueror's power hit Crocodile's chin. At this moment, time seems to be frozen. Blood is like a blooming flower, blooming instantly on Crocodile's face. Click! The clear sound of bone cracking echoes in this wild port. Boom! As Luffy loosened Crocodile's head, the patron saint of Alabasta threw himself at Luffy's feet without moving hiss. When this scene appeared, the movie viewers gasped suddenly. 703 Darth Bonus. The second kill. As a staunch follower of Crocodile, Daspanis, once codenamed Mr. One, opened his mouth wide in shock and stared at the scene on the red frame screen in disbelief in his eyes. Crocodile is already like a king. And that little guy killed Crocodile in one hit. How strong is his strength? Capone Beach. Phew, it's so shocking. Only a simple and unpretentious knee pumping ended the battle directly. Although I was prepared in my heart, according to the options, just now. But when I saw this scene, I felt how shocking. Don Quixote Doflamingo. What a simple and unpretentious Furifer. Boy, do you have any misunderstanding about the simplicity? Charlotte Linlin. Has the kid's Conqueror's entanglement reached such a freewheeling level? Watching the Red Luffy's performance just now in the red frame video, Charlotte Linlin immediately has a clearer understanding of Luffy's talent potential in her heart. She firmly wants to marry Luffy. Anyway, there are so many daughters. In the worst case, the Overlord will force his bow. We must get the kid's genes. Gold Roger. It's really strong. He has strength, but he never underestimates his opponents. Every time he takes a shot, he rushes to end the battle. Even if I meet such a guy, I have to go all out Shanks. Indeed, as long as Red Luffy recognizes you as an enemy, he won't hold back. Buggy. What's more terrible, he still insists on making up. As soon as I finished saying this, the crocodile on the screen was tragic. Looking at the motionless crocodile on the ground, Zoro immediately picked up the rope to tie it up. However, Luffy said, "Don't tie him up for such a person. Letting him live one more day is the greatest injustice to those who died of drought." Zoro heard the words, so he threw the rope to Sanji Songling. Snow out of sheath. The jet-black armament haki was wrapped around Yukizu's blade immediately. Brush. Crocodile's head moved immediately. Crocodile. Although it was him over there who died, Crocodile still couldn't help but feel a chill in his neck when he watched this scene. He looked at Luffy beside him and suddenly felt an urge to take revenge. However, this idea only appeared in his mind for a moment and then disappeared immediately. If it was before, he still has a chance. But now after Luffy got the reward, his fruit ability has been awakened. Crocodile didn't think he had a chance to kill him. If you really do something to Luffy, if you can really kill it, but if it doesn't work, not only Luffy will not let him go, but also the Marine hero Garp and the leader of the Leather Army, Dragon, will not let him go, probably sensing Crocodile's gaze. Luffy turned his head and looked at Crocodile, revealing a big mouthful. White Fang. You over there are so unlucky. Puff Crocodile suddenly felt a rush of blood in his heart. Nima, he still find it funny? It's really annoying. Ding. Anyone who answers wrongly in this prize quiz will be punished. Kid Eustace, the right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and 8 days of life will be deducted. Kazan, the right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and the life expectancy will be deducted for 10 months and 27 days. Jack, the right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and life will be deducted. 8 months and 22 days. Kazan, so much deduction, Polyusolino. Woo, it's also an answer. Look at you. And then look at Sakazuki Kid Eustace. I've been detained for 3 months. It's okay. Not a big problem, ding. The top 3 correct answers to this quiz are Capone Beach, Sakazuki, and Zephyr. Congratulations to the 3. Get rewards. Congratulations to Capone Beach. The reward is Unshakable Lock. Congratulations, Sakazuki. Award Lava Style. Congratulations to Zephyr. Reward 15 years younger. Zephyr, hot. This old man is 15 years younger. As soon as the rewards were issued, Zephyr's appearance became visibly younger. The original 73-year-old physical age suddenly became 58-year-old physical age, almost as big as Kizu. The original heavy breathing and feeling of weakness disappeared in an instant. Monkey D. Garp, that's great. Zephyr, we're all getting younger. Zephyr, yeah, Garp, feels great. GOL D. Roger, I feel similar to you. I am younger, but some people want to become younger and fail. And the result is 1 year older. Huh. Sengoku. Damn it. Roger. You can just report my name. Don't be so weird. GOLD Roger. No, it's not interesting to say that there's a yin and yang. Haha. Shiki. Roger, you are so bad. But the old man likes it. Jaha. Ding. Because the unshakable lock and blood succession boundary, lava style, are magical things from Otherworld, special remarks are made. Remarks on the Unshakable Lock Safe Grade Special Collection. The Unshakable Lock is a neon sign marked open. When the Unshakable Lock is placed in a building with windows and its power source is removed, the building will not be accessible. We call it the lock-in effect. When the lock-in effect is activated, all kinds of damage and attacks, including but not limited to wind, heat, kinetic energy impact, hollowing out the foundation, digging tunnels, electric current, microwave, etc., will not be able to damage the building. The shock caused by these attacks on the interior of the building has been almost weakened to the point where the water waves are not happy. When the locking effect is activated, even if all the doors and windows of this building are opened, nothing from the outside world can still enter, as if these doors and windows have never been opened. People inside can leave at any time, but cannot return to the building until the lock effect is lifted. Only when the unshakable place is reconnected to the power supply, the locking effect will be automatically released. Skillickman. Nanny, is this unshakable lock so ridiculously strong? Hey. Capone is invincible after being hit. Trafalgar Law. This lock, outrageous. Apu is in charge. Be confident. You can change the tone of doubt to affirmation, Kid Eustace. This guy's luck is too good. In this way, Capone Beach can walk sideways no matter where he goes. Roxd, Zebek. What are you guys talking about? Isn't it just a lock that can lock a building? Although it can make the building have an almost invincible defense, he can't hide in the building and can't come out? GOLD Roger. Yes. People need to eat. If you want to deal with the owner of this lock, there are many ways. Just surround and not fight. He will either starve to death inside, or come out and be beaten to death. Nami, no. Capone Beach Devil Fruit is a castle fruit. He is a big castle himself. The crew of his pirate group usually live in his body. If he puts this unshakable lock in his body, wouldn't he be directly invincible? Shiki, Nanny, it turned out that someone with the castle fruit ability got this lock. GOLD Roger. No way. So that's the situation. Roxd, Zebek. Castle fruit plus unshakable lock. This is a perfect match. At first, I thought that this lock was not worth making a fuss about, but now I learned that Capone Beach is actually a castle fruit ability user, and everyone was shocked. Polyusolino, these supernovas were already strong like monsters, but now they have acquired some magical abilities or items, so it's troublesome now. Crane, Those who have their own forces, it's okay to say that the strong are rewarded. Like these newly emerging supernovas who are rewarded, they will definitely not be content with their current status and power, and will definitely set off a wave of chaos in the sea. It's bloody, Sengoku. Anyway, pirates are the biggest cause of unrest in the world. Blood succession boundary changed. Line Done remarks the 5 basic techniques are water style, fire style, earth style, wind style, lightning style. The fusion of fire style and earth style will produce lava style. It is similar to the line escape obtained by Doflamingo last time, and the remarks are all explained in one sentence. Kazan. Is it gone? Poliseno. Why is this similar to the reward Doflamingo got? Sengoku. Sakazuki. How about this reward? Sakazuki. Strong. Very strong. And it matches my lava fruit ability very well. It can be said that the so-called escapism is actually a kind of allows elemental powers to be strengthened and ultimate wielded abilities. Gion. Similar to what Paramecia Devil Fruit can do? Sakazuki. Your analogy is very suitable, of course. It is not exactly the same. Crane. So it seems that Doflamingo has obtained the line escape, and his current strength must not be underestimated. Don Quixote Doflamingo. For Granny Crane. Don't miss me so much. I will panic. A small island behind Naval Headquarters. Blackbeard Teach looked at this reward and fell into thinking, although the ability of the castle fruit is not top-notch. But if you add this unshakable weapon, if you don't succeed in capturing the Whitebeard shock fruit this time, you can get this devil fruit and the unshakable lock together. Thinking of this, Blackbeard Teach silently remembered the name of Capone Beach in his heart. It's a pity. What about 88 million Baileys? Nami flipped through the notepad, and when taking notes before, he also excerpted Crocodile's bounty. She sighed. This damn guy, he insisted on joining the 7 warlords of the sea, so that we can't exchange his head for a bounty. It's okay, there's another one who came with him. The reward is probably not low. Check it out. Luffy shrugged his shoulders, then looked at Robin and said, would you like to cooperate and introduce yourself? At this time, Buggy said, this one needs no introduction. She is the famous 0.8 son of the devil, Nico Robin, son of the devil. Hearing such a unique title, Luffy and the others all opened their mouths in astonishment. Luffy looked at Buggy in surprise. What do you mean? Could it be that she is a child of a devil? There really are creatures like devils in this world? Buggy shook her head. It's not really a demon, but the name given to her by the government of the world. It happened about 20 years ago. There used to be a place it's called O'Hara, and it said that the people there wanted to research the ancient weapon that could destroy the world, but they were wiped out by the world government. Only one fish slipped through the net, and that's her. Nami opened his mouth wide. Has the whole country been wiped out? That's right, it's the whole country. At that time, the government of the world dispatched Buster Call directly. As long as there is anyone above my age who doesn't know about this, Buggy said. Found it. Nico Robin's reward order. 79 million Baileys. At this time, Nami found Nico Robin's reward order in the reward order booklet she bound, and Bailey's light suddenly appeared in her eyes. Because she bound it according to the spelling order, so is still very fast to turn. So much money. Luffy was also pleasantly surprised. But the next moment, Nami suddenly changed his face and exclaimed, What? What's wrong? Luffy took the reward order curiously, suddenly slightly stunned. When I was 8 years old, I was offered a reward of 79 million. The high reward price for an 8-year-old child shows how much the world government wants to kill her. Chapter 102 Buggy reminds. This woman can translate the text of history. Please subscribe. Nico Robin. Look at the situation. Did I get sold by Luffy? Vin smokes Sanji. He dares. I beat him to death. Nami. Probably not. So far, quite a few of the partners over there have boarded the boat, Roronoa Zoro. You still have a nerve to speak. Look over there when you see Robin's bounty amount. Your eyes light up. Nami. I can't just say I'm alone. Look at the red Luffy. When he saw the reward amount just now, he was almost drooling. Monkey D. Luffy, hey? It's not me. It's not me anyway. What? Is there any problem? Seeing that Luffy was surprised by the amount of her reward, Robin walked to the nearby stone and sat down slowly after seeing Luffy's strength. She doesn't have any thoughts of resisting now. Has a problem. Luffy nodded. He pointed to the word 8 years old to show Robin and said, since you were offered a reward of 79 million Baileys when you were 8 years old, the current bounty is still 79 million Baileys. It has been almost 20 years since your bounty has not increased at all. Doesn't that explain the problem? Zoro scratched his head. Luffy, what are you talking about? It's strange that the bounty doesn't go up as long as you don't continue to do bad things. The bounty won't go up, Luffy smiled. Isn't that the problem? Isn't it weird that a guy who hasn't done anything bad for 20 years now wants to team up with Crocodile to destroy the peace of this country? Can it be that I didn't get caught because I did something bad? Robin gently raised his left leg, put it on his right leg, put his hands behind his head, and leaned against the tree trunk behind him. Anyway, I have given up fighting. Why not take it easy? Among the information provided by Princess Vivi, only MS and the Baroque Work Agency can directly contact Crocodile. Coincidentally, I analyzed it based on the information he gave. It seems that all the information she got was intentionally let her know by this NS full Sunday. You were MS all Sunday. Why did you take the initiative to reveal this information to Princess Vivi? What is your purpose? Luffy looks at Robin calmly. Hearing this, Robin shook his head slightly and said with a light smile, there is no purpose. Just to see that little princess is too stupid. So I will reveal some information to her. Seeing that Robin was doing Tai Chi, Luffy didn't ask any more questions and said directly, let's go. As soon as these words came out, Robin Shomei frowned. Huh? You want to arrest me for a bounty? Luffy said lightly. You revealed the information to Princess Vivi, and Princess Vivi followed me and asked me. I will clean up Crocodile, and the civilians in this country are proud to be rescued from the disaster of the Emperor. I never thought that far, said Robin. Yes, it's all accidental. However, if it weren't for you as the source, then Princess Vivi wouldn't be looking for me, and we may have left Alabasta by now. Although all of this is not your subjective purpose, you are an indispensable part of the credit for saving the civilians of Alabasta. This credit is not something that 79 million Baileys can buy. Just treat it as a crime. I won't arrest you. You go. Listening to Luffy's words, Nico Robin's eyes showed a different kind of luster. This kid speaks with reason and evidence, which makes people unable to refute. No, he's going to let me go. Why do I want to refute? Thinking of this, Nico Robin put down his hands and stood up. She patted the sand on her buttocks, looked at Luffy, and said, in that case, thank you for not killing me. Speaking, Robin put a small bag on his back, turned around, and left. Nico Robin. So I'm still not on board? Vin smoked Sanji. Damn Red Luffy. You don't want to keep Robin sauce. This makes me over there cook delicious food for Robin sauce. Trafalgar Law. Sanji is in charge. He is really different jewelry Bonnie. A breath of kneeling and licking comes to my face. Rorinoa Zoro. The eyes of the masses are discerning. Vin smokes Sanji. Idiot Chlorella. Shut up. Wait a moment. Just then, Buggy suddenly shouted. Then he turned to look at Luffy and said, Luffy, aren't we going to circle the Grand Line and even go to Raftel, the final island? Luffy nodded. Yeah, what's the matter? For him, since he intends to see this world, the so-called final island Raftel naturally wants to see it too. Of course, if Raftel really has the treasure of One Piece, Luffy doesn't mind taking it with Luffy's confirmation. Buggy slapped her thigh immediately. Then she can't go. Luffy picks her nostrils. Why? Buggy immediately explained. There are many steels called historical texts in this world, among which there are 4 red historical textiles. They're called landmark historical textiles. If you want to go to Raftel, you must collect all these 4 landmark historical textiles and connect them to form 2 intersecting lines according to the 4 road signs provided on them. And the central intersection point is the location of Raftel. As an intern on the Roger Pirates ship, Buggy knows how to get to Raftel very well. Hearing this, Luffy was a little curious. The historical text stele? Has it existed for many years? At this time, Robin spoke. Yes, those are indestructible stone tablets that have been handed down from 800 years ago, engraved on them about the history of the 100 years ago that was erased by the world government. 800 years ago, 100 years of blank history. Hearing this, Luffy showed interest on his face. If this is the case, then there should be some scenes of 800 years old on Raftel Island. He was delighted. Great. This island must be visited. Originally in Luffy's cognition, Raftel the island with a treasure of One Piece Roger is hidden. Hearing what Robin and Buggy said now, he immediately understands the special meaning of this island. He realizes Roger said that his treasure was placed in Raftel. Maybe it was just a bait. Roger may have seen something on that island, and hope others can see it too. Interesting. Luffy rubbed his chin, then looked up at Robin. If I'm not mistaken, the text on these historical textiles is not a modern text. And you can translate the text on it, right? Buggy immediately corrected. Not only can she translate the text on the historical paper identification, but she is probably the only person in the world who can translate those texts. Nani. Hearing this, everyone except Buggy widened their eyes in shock. After a long time, the woman in front of me turned out to be the only seedling in the translation industry. So, am I unable to leave? Looking at the situation in front of me, Robin didn't continue to leave day anyway. For her, no matter which organization she joins, as an excellent trader, the most basic quality is not to care about the strength of the forces. She doesn't have any ideals and goals of a normal person. She just wants to translate the historical text of this world so as to understand the blank 100 years of history. Of course, it is said that it is a betrayer. In fact, every time Robin betrayed, it was because the organization first betrayed her, and then she betrayed the organization. Otherwise, you will have a safe and stable life. However, if you want to make enemies with one force after another, isn't that a fool? Wow! Welcome to the beautiful Robin sauce. Sanji rushed over with a brisk step and immediately slid and knelt. Making an inviting gesture, Robin froze for a moment, then looked at Luffy. She's a smart person. Of course, she can tell at a glance that Luffy is the talker among this group of people. It's not that I have to keep you. Luffy thought for a while and said, let's do this. I'll just wrong you to stay on our ship for a while. And when I learn your translation knowledge, you will leave immediately. Sengoku. Stupid. He's playing with fire. Crane. I actually want to study the main text of history. Calm. I just want to emphasize here. All the information on the historical text stone tablet is about ancient weapon. Anyone who studies this is trying to destroy world peace. This kind of behavior by the world's government is absolutely zero tolerance. GOLD Roger. Haha. I didn't want to talk to you at first, but your behavior of talking nonsense with your eyes open is really annoying. Is the government of the world worried that the information of ancient weapon will be translated? He's so FG stupid. I'm too embarrassed to expose you ugly guys. Shiki. Oh, let me tell you in detail, Kazuki Oden. When I was with Captain Roger, in addition to seeing the 4 historical texts of road signs, I also saw some other historical textiles, but the records on them seemed to be about the blank history of 800 years ago, and also mentioned a huge kingdom. J. Galucius Satan San. Shut up. Makas Mazin. Don't talk nonsense. Rox D. Zebek. Haha. What are you 2 old bastards doing in such a hurry? Just tell everyone that you have ghosts in your heart. Capone Beach. What is the Great Kingdom? Jewelry Bonnie. Yeah? Why is the history 800 years ago blank? Does it have something to do with the huge kingdom? Isan Baron V. Nashu Lang Sheng. Do you not understand human language? It is forbidden to inquire about things 800 years ago. Otherwise, you will be wanted for the crime of endangering world security. Monkey Long. There are so many 5 elders in a hurry. It seems that I am in a hurry. Monkey D. Garp. Watching a movie is so much bullshit. Dragon, shut up. Hearing that Luffy actually wanted to learn about archaeological translation, Luo Bao suddenly laughed. Ahaha. Slender fingers blocked his nose. Robin shook his head. Don't think about it. I can't teach others. Why? Luffy wondered. Robin said directly. There is no reason. I just don't know how to teach you. Luffy pondered for a while. Suddenly a look of surprise appeared on his face. I see. You want to protect me? As soon as these words came out, even Nami, Zoro, and others couldn't help but burst out laughing. Luffy, how did you become narcissistic? Hey, what are you talking about? Why does she want to protect you? Although Luffy's partners laughed, but when Robin heard this, a touch of surprise appeared on his delicate cheeks. She looks at Luffy. Before she was just shocked by Luffy's strength. 7:13. But now, Robin suddenly realizes that the boy in front of him who looks only about 16 years old must not be treated with common sense. How to say? Robin asked seriously with a face like sure sway. Luffy spread his hands to both sides. Look, you were offered a reward of 79 million Baileys when you were 8 years old. A kid at that age is considered a bad boy. It's definitely not a big deal. But the amount of reward offered by the government of the world is clearly to the extent that you must die. It means that you have something on your body that they must destroy. Strength? Impossible. Devil fruit? Impossible. Knowledge? At that age, you can only be ordered to kill because you have mastered some kind of knowledge. Of course, you don't have to show such a surprised expression. In fact, I didn't think of this level at first, but before Buggy told me that you may be the only person in the world who could translate the text of history, and I asked you to teach me, but you immediately refused to teach me. So, are you afraid that if I learn this knowledge, I will be hunted down by the government of the world just like you? Miss Robin's heart was shocked. What kind of monster is this boy? Surprisingly, they were quickly linked together with such a small amount of information and made the most correct guess. Even her inner thoughts are properly grasped at this moment. Robin even felt a little scared. If you get on the boat of such a person, it may not be a simple matter for him to keep his secret in the future, but think about it, such a guy is strong enough to instantly kill Crocodile. With such a strong IQ and reasoning ability, there is no doubt that, in the near future, such a person will definitely not be an ordinary person. Is it her turn to worry about such a person? As for herself, if she can get the protection of this person, it seems pretty good. The most important thing is this guy now shows a strong interest in the historical text. Then, isn't this Major the right one? Robin's ideal is to translate all the historical texts in this world and find out the history that happened 800 years ago. Now, if Luffy does this, then she can do this together as long as she follows Luffy. This is much more comfortable than her constant betrayal and being betrayed among various forces before. Thinking of this, Robin immediately said, since you already understand the consequences this knowledge will bring to you, if you still insist on learning, I can teach you. Chapter 103, The Great Evil, Luffy is Real. Please subscribe. Okay, I'll learn. If it was before, Luffy might consider it after all. If he is ordered to be hunted down by the government of the world, he also has to consider Grandpa's feelings. But now, have been inexplicably offered a reward of 50 million Baileys. So what's the difference between being hunted down by the world's government? The maximum reward amount has increased. As the old saying goes, if you have too many lice, you don't get itchy. Probably Luffy's current state of mind. At this time, Robin said again, but I have one condition. If you promise me, I will really teach you about archaeology. Luffy shrugged his shoulders. Well, let's talk about it first. What is the condition? According to Crocodile's information, there is a historical textile under the funeral hall in the Alabasta Royal Garden. I want to translate this historical textile. Robin stated his conditions. Hearing this, Luffy showed a troubled expression on his face. You just don't want to teach me. It's in the funeral hall. Let me go in. What is the funeral hall? To put it bluntly, it's the family's ancestral grave. And it's the royal family's ancestral tomb. So you can come in and out as you please? Robin continued. You can ask the little princess in Alabasta for help. Little princess. Luffy thought for a while, then realized that what Luo Wu said was Princess Vivi. Luffy picked up the crocodile, which is a big credit to the whole Alabasta. And it was Princess Vivi who asked Luffy for help on this matter. So, if Luffy brings this matter up to Princess Vivi, the other party should have a high probability of accepting it too. Seems to work. I can try, but I can't contact her now. I can't go to the gate of the palace and say, hello, let me find your princess. Luffy spreads out her hands, Puff listening to the scene described by Luffy. Robin was amused then. She smiled. Don't worry about this. I can contact you crocodile who died on the ground, Robin said. Now the sand crocodile just died, and no one in Baroque Works knows about it. As long as I use the crocodile method to issue instructions, I can contact MS Wednesday. Okay, then you can contact her. Luffy nodded, then thought of something and said, wait. In addition to this, you send another order so that the other agents of the Baroque Work Agency will be in full swing. Are you going to wipe them all out? Robin said in shock. Yeah, they're worth a lot of money, Luffy said solemnly. Listening to this reason, the expression on Robin's face suddenly became very exciting. Obviously, I am a pirate with a bounty on offer, but I still want to arrest someone to exchange for the bounty. Aren't you afraid of being taken over by Marine when you change the bounty? Although I was surprised by Luffy's idea, Robin still did it. The next day, the senior agent of the Baroque Work Agency was taken away. The Mary is docked at the wild port of the island where the 19th branch of the Marine is located. What are we waiting for here? Didn't we say that we want to exchange them for a bounty? Seeing that Luffy and others are actually practicing here, Robin is very surprised. Wait for time. Luffy picks her nostrils and continues to know about the cultivation of her partner's waiting time. Robin looks dazed. Do these agents still have a shelf life? The night is slowly falling. The mirror-like moon hangs in the sky, pouring the brilliance as clear as flowing water onto the vast sea. Well, the moon is a little bright today, but it doesn't hinder us from doing things. Luffy looked up at the sky, then stretched out his hand and made a tactical gesture forward, immediately jumped onto the island first, and got into the grove. Buggy, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp follow. Looking at this scene, Robin opened his red lips in astonishment. He looked at the senior agents who had fainted in the shackles of the seawater barrel, and looked at Nami suspiciously. What are they going to do, Luffy? Don't you want to bring these agents? Nami smiled. Hee. You'll know later after a while. When the 5 thugs rushed out from the woods, Robin opened his mouth wide in shock. He could almost swallow an eggplant HI under Robin's stunned gaze. Luffy commanded, and the others came in groups of 2 and picked up the poles. Several seawater wooden barrel shackles are hung on each pole. The moonlight opened the way, and the 5 gangsters went straight to the 19th branch of the Marine. By the time I came back, those senior agents were gone, and I only brought back a bounty of 232 million Baileys. That's how you exchanged the bounty? Robin understood it, but he was still shocked. It wasn't originally, but then there was a little accident, so I did it. Luffy laughed, and then took everyone to count the Money Marine 19th branch. Oh, Io, it hurts me to death. What the hell? My legs and arms are swollen in 5 places, and you're only swollen in 1 place. Why are you yelling? Damn it, I was only swollen in 1 place. But the horse rider, I don't know what kind of hatred that person has with me. Such a thick wooden stick slapped but in the same place more than 10 times. Ouch. Ouch. Just as the Marine soldiers were wailing, the financial officer with a bruised nose and a swollen face ran over. Colonel Rocky, we found out that a total of 232 million Baileys were taken away. The people in the barrel of the door also found out that they all have bounties. Their total bounty is exactly 232 million Baileys. Such a coincidence? Colonel Rocky rubbed half of his swollen face and asked in doubt, Colonel, why don't we report to our superiors that someone brought wanted criminals in exchange for a reward of 232 million Baileys? This way the superiors won't know that our base has been raided, the financial officer said in a low voice. Colonel Rocky thought for a while, and suddenly his eyes lit up. He raised his hand. No, you report like this. To say that this group of gangsters attacked naval headquarters at night. Colonel Ben led everyone to resist bravely, and finally arrested most of them, but 5 accomplices escaped with 332 million Bailey. Colonel, it's 232 million Baileys, the treasurer corrected. Hearing this, Colonel Rocky's face changed, and he poked the financial officer's forehead with his index finger. Are you so stupid? You obviously lost 332 million Baileys. When the financial officer finally came to his senses, that's right. It's 33,200 Baileys, and there are only a few million Baileys left in the entire treasury. These bastards, damn it. Sengoku. Damn it, when the movie is over, check this Colonel Rocky for me to see if he has done this kind of operation before. GOLD, Roger. Huh, it's not much more interesting to watch the movie. Shiki, I'm dying of laughter. This Colonel Rocky only got a beating, but he was able to get 100 million berries for himself immediately from this incident. And then he won the great credit for arresting all the senior agents of the entire Baroque works. This mother is definitely a talent in Marine. Achiku, Sengoku, you have made such a great contribution. You can't promote him to Commodore? Charlotte Lin, wahaha. Edward Newgate, Gulalalala Zephyr. Hey, what a shame. Back to Alabasta. Contact Princess Vivi again. Princess Vivi brought Luffy and his party into the palace. Luffy and his party are hosted by King Cobra himself with the highest royal banquet. Mr. Luffy, if Vivi hadn't told me the truth, I would still be in the dark. Cobra raises his glass to toast Luffy before he was still wondering why it suddenly started raining all over the country. He asked the palace guards to investigate this matter, but found nothing. It wasn't until Princess Vivi returned to the palace and told him the matter that he realized that there was a noble person to help. Well, you're welcome. It's also related to Vivi. Otherwise, we're already on another island. Luffy is not hypocritical. He eats meat and drinks in big bowls help him so much. Eat him more, it's not too much. The banquet is very happy. Vivi also took the initiative to fight wine with Nami. Both of them drank peach red and willow green. Sanji hugged 4 or 5 maids, and while eating the delicious food that the maids stuffed into his mouth, he sprayed nosebleeds, and the nosebleeds probably sprayed 7 or 8 pots. During this period, Bell, the captain of the palace guard, came to Cobra several times. Cobra apologized to Luffy very politely, and then went to the door to listen to Bell. The distance from the banquet table to the door of the banquet hall is very long, and the two of you are standing outside the door. Even Observation Haki cannot hear what you're talking about. However, this does not include Luffy. Luffy's Observation Haki clearly heard the conversation between Cobra and Bell. Probably the content is because Alabasta started to rain again. People celebrate everywhere. Many people hope that their patron saint, Mr. Sand Crocodile, can dedicate himself to celebrate with them. But the Sand Crocodile disappeared for several days and never showed up. Many die-hard fans began to worry about whether the Sand Crocodile was in danger, and someone called Marine to tell them about it. Naval headquarters contacted Crocodile by phone, but failed to contact. So Marine contacted Alabasta's royal family and asked them to help pay attention to Crocodile's movements, and Naval headquarters said that if Crocodile has not been found, the headquarters will send someone to investigate this matter in person. After talking with Bell, Cobra came back to drink with him again. He didn't mention this to Luffy, this matter. Luffy didn't ask much. Mr. Luffy, on behalf of the people of the entire Alabasta, I would like to express my sincerest respect to you and your partners. If you have any requests and needs, just mention it to me. As a king, Cobra must express his sincerity to Luffy. How can it be just a banquet? However, the tax revenue of the Alabasta royal family is not high, and because of the drought in the past 2 years, Cobra allocated fund for disaster relief everywhere, resulting in the treasury running out of money. Otherwise, Cobra will directly throw out 1 billion Baileys to thank Luffy right now. Instead of waiting anxiously for Luffy to speak, Luffy thought about it, then smiled. Actually, I learned about it through Vivi. Your royal family's treasury is also tight now. But since you have spoken, I want a 2 billionaire. Just take it as compensation for me. Make up. Hearing this, Cobra didn't quite understand. It's nothing, anyway. Just give me 200 million Baileys. Luffy didn't explain much, just clarified the number. 200 million Baileys is actually quite nervous for the current Alabasta royal family. But by tightening their belts, the money can still be squeezed out. Okay. In addition to 200 million Baileys, you should also bring more wine and ingredient from the palace. King Cobra is not a small person. Although 200 million berries will make the current Alabasta royal family feel uncomfortable for a while. But for what Luffy is doing, this is really a small amount of money. A few days later, Mary is docked at the wild port of Rapeseed City, except for Luffy. Everyone is on board -1. Rapeseed Flower City, downtown. On the dome of the tallest building, a figure appears here. Look, there are people there. It's the favorite place for the patron saint, Mr. Crocodile. Is Master Crocodile back? No, no, he's not Mr. Crocodile. He's the big pirate Monkey D. Luffy with a bounty of 50 million Baileys. I remember him. He fought with Mr. Crocodile and defeated Mr. Crocodile. Look, what is he holding in his hand? I can't see clearly. Likians. Soon, there will be a large crowd gathered here, and there will be many Marines who come to investigate the disappearance of the crocodile. Luffy is standing on the dome. Looking down, his hand is holding the head of Crocodile. Although so many days have passed, under the ability of Nami's slippery fruit, microorganisms cannot enter this head. So Crocodile's head is still lifelike. Crocodile was killed by him. So no matter how Cobra explains it to Marine, it will definitely not make sense. As for revealing the truth about Crocodile's crimes and dancing fans to the common people, don't even think about it. People only believe what they see with their own eyes, including Luffy himself as well. Even if he met Crocodile for the first time, he thought Crocodile was a model worker serving the people, combined with the previous palace dancing fan incident. If Cobra wants to reveal the truth to the people, he will only be considered to be framing Crocodile in the end. Many people even think that Cobra must be jealous of Crocodile's reputation in the hearts of the people, so he brutally killed the patron saint of the people of Alabasta. Of course, these civilians cannot be blamed too much for this. After all, their strength and vision determine that they cannot see the truth clearly. Now that Luffy is standing here, he intends to end it. Crocodile was killed by him, so he intends to let more people know. However, in this way, the dead Crocodile is really a good guy, and Luffy, is confirmed as the big villain. When I asked for 200 million Baileys from Cobra before, the makeup that Luffy said was actually referring to this matter. It doesn't matter. I've already been offered a reward of 50 million. Why don't I let my reward be raised? Shaking his head slightly, Luffy looked at the crowd below and threw Crocodile's head casually. Chapter 104: The Straw Hat Pirates are officially established. Please subscribe. Sir Crocodile. Read Luffy that BD. Damn it. Seeing that his head was thrown from a height to the ground by Luffy like that, Crocodile was about to explode. Don Quixote da Flamingo. You just have fun secretly. Aren't you going to be the patron saint of Alabasta? You see, Luffy has made you perfect. You are now forever living in the hearts of the people of Alabasta, and you are the eternal patron saint in their hearts. Fufurfur, Gecko Moria, live in their hearts. Doflamingo, you can really talk. Gion, with what Crocodile did, he deserved his death. From his point of view, Luffy over there did the right thing. Sakazuki, that's right, the damn pirate should be killed on the spot. Naval Headquarters, Malindo, Marshal, here's an application to revoke the reward order. Crane Vice Admiral came to Sengoku's office and saw a document left on Sengoku's desk. Sengoku frowned. He looked at Tsuru Vice Admiral with some doubts. Does this kind of application need to be submitted to me? Do you need to submit it in person? Take a look before you talk. Crane Vice Admiral smiled wryly and shook his head. Open files after Sengoku. This is the application report submitted by Colonel Hina. The content inside is probably she went to Iron Barrel Kingdom to investigate about Wapol and found out that what Luffy said before was actually true. Wapol has indeed ruined the Iron Barrel Kingdom for several years. And it is true that because of the Blackbeard pirates landing on Magnetic Drum Island, Wapol took his King's Guard to become a pirate. In this way, application for Luffy's most frequent order that she and Colonel Rocky submitted together at that time was a TV University mistake. Not only did they not kill innocent people randomly, but they also rescued the civilians of the original Iron Barrel Kingdom from the dire straits. After finding out about this matter, Colonel Hina felt very guilty. She rushed to Naval Headquarters overnight, and once she got back to Naval Headquarters, she wrote this reward application report to redeem the mistakes she made. Seeing the purpose of this application, Sengoku smiled. Then revoke it. But there's another piece of information. Crane Vice Admiral gave a wry smile and put another document on the table. Sengoku is a bit inexplicable. Tion opened it and took a look. UBD killed the 623 Shichibukai of His Majesty. This simply doesn't take us Marine seriously. Seeing the contents of the letter, Sengoku slapped the table suddenly, and all the documents on the table jumped up. However, Crane Vice Admiral sighed. I said that you were too confused, and you still don't see the point. Can't you read the name of this wanted person again? Name? Hearing this, Sengoku looks at this person's name, Monkey D. Luffy. This level of reward was not issued by Sengoku before, so this is the first time Sengoku has seen the reward about Luffy. He had a lot of work and was very busy every day, so he just focused on watching the incident and didn't pay much attention to his name. Now I heard Crane Vice Admiral's emphasis, and I noticed this person's last name. Monkey D. Sengoku's eyes popped, and he immediately looked at this person's profile. Age is about 16 years old. I have a habit of picking my nose when talking. Seeing this, Sengoku suddenly exclaimed, "No way. Is it the grandson of Garp's family?" There is no doubt. He is Garp's grandson. The wry smile on Crane Vice Admiral's face became stronger. Damn it. Damn it. Sengoku takes this document and walks quickly in front of the calendar park to use it. Walking for a while, he stopped and said angrily, "Garpy D." He promised to train his grandson to be a pillar of the Marine. But now his great-grandson actually killed the 7 warlords of the sea that we recruited with great difficulty. Crane Vice Admiral asked in a deep voice, "What should we do now? Do we want to talk to Garp about this?" "Say it. Of course you have to say it. Let him, the old BD, see what good things the BD grandson he taught has done." Sengoku was furious. Then the revocation of the reward order? Crane Vice Admiral asked again. Sengoku was so angry that he said angrily, "What are you canceling? Give me an increase in the amount of his reward." Crane Vice Admiral took a deep breath. "Then how much do you think is suitable for promotion? This kid can kill Crocodile. The new bounty starts with at least 100 million Baileys. Considering that it is mentioned in the document that Crocodile has captured many pirates for the people of Alabasta, it can be said that he is a great hero in the hearts of the people of Alabasta. Bad. The kid from the Garp family killed such a person. The impact is extremely bad. The reward for him has been directly increased to 200 million Baileys." Sengoku decides. Alabasta Imperial Palace. When Cobra found out what Luffy was doing in Rapeseed City, I was in tears. Is this the compensation for the 200 million Baileys? Hey, compared to 200 million Baileys, your kindness is really too great. Princess Boudoir Vivi also heard the news. She stood at the window looking at the direction of the sea. Her little face was also covered with grease. "Luffy, thank you." Mumbling, Princess Vivi puts the straw hat on her head. If Luffy is here, she will be surprised that this straw hat is almost exactly the same as a straw hat. This straw hat was made by Princess Vivi looking for a palace tailor. It is the same style as Luffy's straw hat. The only difference is that the edge of this straw hat is decorated with 10 small flowers. When Luffy and his group left before, Princess Vivi actually had an urge to go out to sea with Luffy. However, after careful consideration, Princess Vivi still has no one to speak. Because she saw how close the relationship between Nami and Luffy was, she didn't know what it was like, so she never had the courage to ask to go to sea with them. Nami, huh? Vivi over there seems to have a crush on the red Luffy too. Seeing the Luffy couple hat custom-made by Princess Vivi herself in the video, Nami was overjoyed before this. She was always teased by her friends, but now someone can share the firepower for her. Oh yeah. Nico Robin, couple hat. Although the red Luffy over there doesn't know about it. Maybe they will meet again in the future. Vinsmoke Sanji. Hey. Is there any way to do this? Why both Nami-chan and Vivi-chan like Luffy? Can't you all like me over there? Roronoa Zoro. Stupid curly eyebrow. Please be quiet. Can you not come out and show yourself? Boa Hancock. My God. Is Mr. Luffy over there so popular? Then my competition over there is fierce. Charlotte Lin. Let you over there grab it for a while. Wait for the old woman over there to come out. Use the crowd tactics, and definitely win the red road over there. Aishiki. Lin, you're so ambitious. You here already want to take down the Straw Hat Luffy. And you want to take down the Straw Hat over there too? Jiaha. Charlotte Lin. Humph. Stay away. A few days later, on the sea, it has been several days since the Mary left Alabasta. A news seagull flew over. Nami made a gesture with his little hand, and the news seagull landed. Nami took out 100 Baileys and put them in Seagull Hung's front pocket, and then pulled out a new newspaper. The messenger seagull flew away. Wow. As soon as the newspaper was opened, Nami cried out, "Beautiful Nami-chan, what happened? Please allow the knight to escort you." Sanji came over with a slip on his knees afterwards. When he saw the headlines on the newspaper, he opened his mouth wide in astonishment. Ah, everyone will gather around soon. I saw that the reward order on the front page of the newspaper was exactly Luffy from White Fang with a big grin name. Monkey D. Luffy reward. 200 million berries. Crime. Killing Wapple. Killing 7 warlords of the Sea Crocodile affiliation to pirates. Temporarily unknown position. Captain, the rewards of Nami and Zoro are still 50 million Baileys. And then, there is one more. Chopper. A reward of 50 Baileys is offered, defined as a pet. As for the others, there is no reward for now. Of course, Buggy and Robin have bounties themselves, but because Marine didn't know they were on Luffy's ship, they didn't put Buggy and Robin's bounties in Luffy's unknown pirates column. Damn it, even Chopper has a reward. But Usopp and I don't have a reward. Sanji flipped through the newspaper several times, chanting nonstop. This feeling makes him feel as if he doesn't get respect from Marine. This is troublesome. Even if Luffy doesn't want to be a pirate, this time he can only be a pirate. Zoro frowned and said with some displeasure. He is the first person to become Luffy's partner. So naturally, he knows that Luffy has no interest in being a pirate. Luffy patted Zoro on the shoulder. Don't worry, we can call us whatever others like anyway. We only do what we want to do. He looked at the line, unknown pirates, in the newspaper and twitched his mouth. Since we have confirmed the identity of the pirates, why not give our pirates a name? Nami opened her mouth in surprise. Ah, really, are you going to be a pirate? Although she was a little thief before, she is still fundamentally different from a pirate. Also, because of the dragon pirates, Nami hates pirates very much. It doesn't matter if everyone disagrees, then this matter will not be mentioned. Luffy shrugged his shoulders, very carefree. No. I don't want to refute what you mean. I'm just a little sudden. But if it's your decision, Luffy, I fully support it. Nami clenched her small fists and pressed her hands in front of her buggy on the side. Heard Luffy say that. He was so happy. If there is anyone on this ship who most wants Luffy to form a pirate group, then Buggy and Usopp are definitely the top two. Seeing that Luffy has this idea now, Buggy immediately suggested, I propose, let's call it the Luffy Pirates. His own previous pirate group was called the Buggy Pirates, so now he naturally thinks of this name. No, let's call it the Usopp Pirates. I used to be the captain of the pirates, and now it's just right to be your captain. Usopp excitedly recommended himself. One Nami's armament Haki's fist landed on Usopp's head immediately. Then she showed the Murloc teeth emoji and yelled at Usopp. Idiot. Of course the captain is Luffy. That's right. Nami-chan is right. The captain is Luffy. Sanji raised his hands with red hearts in his eyes. Of course, said Zoro. Chopper raised his little hoof. I have no objection. As for Robin, her opinion is not important because Luffy doesn't accept her as a partner now, but just made an agreement with Robin to let Robin stay on the boat to teach him archaeological translation knowledge. According to the agreement, when Luffy learns the knowledge of archaeological translation, Luo-chan will be free. Okay, since everyone agrees, our pirate group will be formally established today. Looking at the partners, Luffy sets the tone, then he smacked his lips. However, I feel that it is a bit strange to use my own name as the name of the pirate group, so it is better not to call it the Luffy Pirate Group. Luffy thought for a while, modeled his straw hat, and said with a smile, This straw hat has witnessed the joining of each of our partners. Why not call the Straw Hat Pirates Straw Hat Pirates? Sounds good. Zoro nodded. Since it was Luffy's decision, I agree. If Nami agrees, I agree too. Okay, I have no objection either. Do you really not think about the name Usopp Pirates? Usopp lay down on the ground in this way. The Straw Hat Pirates are officially established. Then, just draw the pirate flag in this sea. Every little famous pirate group has a special mark when they were children. For example, the red-nosed skull of the Buggy Pirates, Another example is the cat skeleton of the Black Cat Pirates. Another example is the red megalodon of the Dragon Pirates. It can be said that the most basic requirement for a qualified pirate flag is, as long as others see this pirate flag, they can recognize which sea it is. Thieves! The name of Luffy's pirate group is the Straw Hat Pirates. So the special logo is easy to think of. The special logo of the bandit flag. Afterwards, Luffy drew the pirate flag himself, scaring everyone to death. Then Usopp volunteered to draw a slingshot skull and was hammered by Nami again. And then Usopp finally drew the pirate flag of the Straw Hat Pirates seriously. As the sail with the straw hat skull slowly rises, everyone feels at ease in their hearts. In the corner not far away, Robin looked at the group of busy figures. Envy quietly arose in her heart. The organization this time seems a little different. Chapter 105, The Friendship from 400 years ago, appeared in the chat room. Please subscribe. Monkey D. Garp. Ah, damn it. Why did you still go down the road of pirates? Shiki. Jiahahaha. Didn't you Marines push you up? GOLD Roger. To be more specific, Sengoku must be FG forced. Every day with the Garp brothers, the former brother and the younger brother. This turned around and turned into a pirate for his grandson. It's disgusting. Bottle rocks D. Zebek. Hitoe. Sengoku. Shut up. We over there don't know the truth about what Crocodile did. How could he not be wanted for such a serious crime as killing 7 warlords of the sea? Don Quixote da Flamingo. Yes. I want to tell you about this. Dotma blames the sand crocodile. Phew for Sir Crocodile. Blame your mother. Clown, are you courting death? Don Quixote da Flamingo. Phew for There are indeed people who are qualified to say this to me, but not including you. Funny little crocodile, Sir Crocodile. Hee. Didn't you just get the reward from the movie viewing system? Don't be shy. Then after I get the reward, see if I don't kill you. Right now the screen with the red border slowly dimmed. The screen with white borders gradually brightened. The screen appears. The Straw Hat Pirates have left Alabasta. They followed the record pointer and raced wildly on the sea. A lot of debris fell from the sky. Afterwards, a big dilapidated ship crashed down. And at this time, the record pointer on Nami's neck is like a hook in the morning, pointing firmly at Shun. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji went to sea to salvage the shipwreck just now, and finally found the map of Sky Island, Capone Beach. Sky Island? Could such a place really exist? Kid Eustace. Islands floating in the air? Impossible. Urich, what are you thinking? Of course Sky Island exists. Because I am from Sky Island. Jewelry Bonnie. Sky Island, really? How do these islands float in the sky? Urich. There is a sea of clouds composed of special sea clouds in the sky, and there are islands composed of islands in the sea of clouds. This is Sky Island Shiki. It's really troublesome. Put the island directly into the sky. Isn't it Sky Island? GOLD Roger. Ha! Golden Lion, you are on horse, ha! Afterwards, the salvaged ship of the Ape Mountain United Army appeared. After the conflict, the 10 pedestrians of the Straw Hat Pirates relied on Robin to snatch the sheep from the captain of the Ape Pirates. In Magic Valley Town, the Straw Hat Pirates met Blackbeard, Bellamy, and others afterwards. Relying on the information Robin obtained, they came to the northeast corner of Magic Valley Town and found Mont-Blanc Coolie Guy. When Coolie Guy explained to Luffy and others that he could board the Sky Island with the help of the soaring current, Luffy excitedly said that he would go, but Usopp strongly opposed it. Okay, I see. Everyone give up on Sky Island. Ha, what a pity, Luffy. Luffy, this is too precarious. To put it bluntly, if you're not the lucky one of the lucky ones who gave birth to the lucky ones, you will never get there at all. Usopp tries hard to explain to Luffy how impossible the trip to Sky Island is. However, Luffy laughed. No problem, let's go. No problem. You will trust those rambling words. Usopp pointed at the Mary, bursting into tears. Look at the Mary. Look at her bruises all over her body. How can she withstand the electric shock of the soaring ocean current? At this time, Coolie Guy said, that's right. Even if the ship is brand new, it will not be able to reach it safely. It will disintegrate in an instant at the moment when the soaring current breaks out. What? Hearing this, Usopp's expression changed. Cully Guy turned his back to Usopp and continued. But you don't have to worry. The apes and orangutans will help you strengthen the hull. Oh ho ho ho. Leave this matter to us. The orangutan and the orangutan raised their fists and said excitedly. Usopp and Nami are sweating at the same time. These guys are really nosy. Then, when Coolie Guy said there would be a turbulent current tomorrow, Usopp exploded completely. He roared, "No, you are lying. According to what you said just now, the chance of going to Sky Island is very illusory. But we just said that we can only stay on this island for one day at most. And you said that there will be soaring currents tomorrow. And we just met today, and you asked someone to strengthen the hull of our ship and escort us. How can there be such a good thing?" Usopp was so angry that he put on a posture to fight Coolie Guy. Urich, ha! This guy is obviously afraid of death, but at one moment he said that the boat could not bear it, and at another moment he said that the other party was a liar. Haha. I laughed so hard, Skillickmanap. Blah 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 blah. Monkey D, Luffy, that's not right. I've only cared about adventures since I was on this journey, but I never thought about the Mary. I also thought that Usopp was just using the Mary as an excuse, but now watching the scene again, Usopp, in fact, you were really worried about the Mary. Usopp, haha. Why? I'm just scared. Seeing Luffy ask this in the chat room, Usopp burst into tears. At that time, he was afraid because he was afraid, but he was more worried that the melee would not be able to withstand the impact of the soaring ocean current. But now in the chat room, Usopp doesn't want to admit it. After experiencing the duel with Luffy in the capital of Seven Waters, Usopp has also matured a lot. He now understands one thing. Sometimes he has to protect the captain's face, little Melly. Brother Usopp is lying at that time. You cared about me. I can feel the intensity of the crew's concern for me. Usopp, Trafalgar Law. Aha. The person concerned has come forward to speak out. I thought he was using the melee as a cover, but who would have thought that sometimes the jokes that he casually said are the real thoughts in his heart, Monkey D. Luffy, sure enough, Usopp. I'm sorry. I apologize to you and little Melly, little Melly. Luffy is great too. The next day, the Mary successfully arrived at the position of the soaring ocean current. Although the Blackbeard pirates came out to show their faces, the Mary still arrived at the sea above the sky without any risk, of course. Even if the melee has been reinforced, it still suffered a lot of damage under the impact of such a strong soaring ocean current. After entering the Gate of Heaven, the Straw Hat Pirates and their party appeared on Angel Beach, and they wantonly enjoyed the adventure here. But because I didn't pay the money when I entered the Gate of Heaven, I was regarded as an intruder. Afterwards, the Mary was sent to the altar of God by the Express Shrimp, and Nami, Robin, Zoro, and Chopper were also sent there because they were on the ship. During this period, Nami, Robin, and Zoro went into the forest to explore the way, and they met Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp, who came from the direction of the Lost Forest. When the six of them returned to the altar of God, it was already attacked by priests. No, the mast is completely gone. We saw the messy Mary. Usopp was completely dumbfounded. I'm sorry, Usopp. I tried my best, but many places are on fire. Chopper's face was black and gray, wrapped in a bandage, and said sadly. He knows that Usopp has been tinkering with the melee all the way, and Usopp has a deep affection for the melee. When Usopp turned his head to look at Chopper, he immediately hid his sad expression and turned into a smiling face. The important thing is that you are fine. That arsonist must be very difficult to deal with, right? Fortunately, it was only the boat that burned, not you. I will fix it, Tony Chopper. Usopp, it turned out that you were in so much pain at the time, but when you turned your head to look at me, you still had to consider my mood. Woo woo woo. Usopp, aha. What are you thinking? It's not your fault. That BD priest did it, Monkey D. Luffy. I'm a captain. I ignore the Mary too much. That night, at Luffy's suggestion, everyone held a bonfire party again. However, after everyone has fallen asleep, Usopp gets up to pee. He was just about to go back to sleep when he heard a ding, ding, dong, dong. Usopp was puzzled, He searched for the source of the voice of the wave of curiosity in the past few days. Finally, I was shocked to find that the voice came from the melee on the high platform of the altar. What's that sound? There should be no one on board, because the fog in the Lost Forest is really too big. Usopp can't see clearly from a distance, you know. This is in the middle of the night. Listening to the voice from the high platform of the altar, it is still very scary. However, although Usopp is timid, but considering that the Mary is there, he still has the courage to go there. Through the layers of fog, Usopp is gradually approaching the altar of God, asking for flowers. A gust of mountain wind blows away the fans. In front of the melee, a small figure wearing a goose-yellow raincoat and rain boots, like a ghost, is beating on the hull. Aware that Usopp saw her, little Mary the ship elf showed him his clean white fanged teeth. At this moment, Usopp's face was distorted in horror. His eyes rolled over, and he hit the ground with a bang. Nami. Ah, this is the first time Usopp sees little Melly. I fainted from fright. Usopp. Hey. At that time, none of us had heard of the legend of the ship's spirit. In the middle of the night, we suddenly saw an illusory figure knocking on the boat. If it were you, you would definitely be scared to death. Nami. Hee. I won't admit this, Vinsmoke Sanji. It turned out that Usopp had met Little Melly at that time. Little Melly. Actually, I was completely born that night. Although I was conscious before, it was only a superficial consciousness attached to the boat. Brother Thorpe looked at my burnt body, and the fetters of caring for me in his heart completely activated me. Trafalgar Law. Amazing. Usopp is in charge. Usopp. The birth of the ship elf, Little Melly, is not due to me alone, but to the joint bondage of all my partners. Of course, my contribution is more than that of others. There are a little more people, haha. Afterwards, the Straw Hat Pirates and the God's Island side, headed by God's Enel, started a duel. When Luffy beats Enel flying with the Golden Euro, it also rings the Lamp of Shandora. Wappa, the great warrior of Sandia, who is covered in scars, listened to the wonderful bell and murmured, "Did you hear that? Mont Blanc Nolando, I kept you waiting for a long time. I hope this bell can be passed on to your descendants." When the beautiful rhythm of the golden bell fell from the sky, a group of people from Coolie Guy on Gaia Island also heard this wonderful sound. Everything seems to be destined in the dark. The long-awaited bell of the Big Liar 400 years ago finally rang again today, 400 years later. Basil Hawkins, Mont Blanc Nolando. Who would have thought that the story of the great liar Nolando that has been circulating in our North Blue for 400 years is actually a true lie? Drake. This is the children's story we all know at North Blue. It's been 400 years. It's unbelievable how wronged was Mont Blanc Nolando back then. Trafalgar Law. If the Straw Hats hadn't struck the golden bell, wouldn't the story of the great liar Nolando continue to be passed down? Sakazuki. There is no one from North Blue who doesn't know this story. Now, under the broadcast of this viewing system, everyone in North Blue knows the truth. This story should be changed. Mont Blanc Nolando, the Lamp of Shandora, finally rings again. Gold Roger. Nanny. It's not. Edward Newgate. This name is the Lord coming? Sengoku. Are you the Mont Blanc Nolando, known as the Great Liar 400 years ago? Mont Blanc Nolando. Is it 400 years? It turns out that I've been dead for so long. Just now my consciousness suddenly woke up, and then I saw the Lamp of Shandora is lit. Shiki, wow. People from 400 years ago. Drake. Amazing to be able to hear a household name from North Blue talking. Trafalgar Law. Yeah, it's a miracle. Mont Blanc Nolando. Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy. OM. Mont Blanc Nolando. Thank you and your mates. Calgura. Nolando. As the parties involved in this incident, Calgara, like Nolando, just woke up and saw this scene. Mont Blanc Nolando. Calgara. Calgura. Nolando. Mont Blanc Nolando. Calgara. Ha. The two didn't say anything hypocritical. Everything was in laughter. At this moment, everyone in the chat room, no matter what faction they belonged to, all tacitly did not make a sound. Everyone gave up the stage at this time to these two good friends from 400 years ago, the laughter of friendship. At this moment, it resounds in everyone's mind. Chapter 106 Roger announces the truth about the great secret treasure. Please subscribe. Although Luffy knocked Enel down with the last blow, Enel's ultimate move, Thundering, still fell. The terrifying force of destruction completely destroyed Angel Island. Fortunately, the residents of Angel Island and Sandia have been evacuated to the sea. Otherwise, all the residents of this sky island will die. In the end, Enel took the Ark Proverbs and flew towards the boundless land. In his mouth, Don Quixote da Flamingo, fur. As expected of Thunder Fruit, this devil fruit is too destructive. It just happened to meet Luffy, who is a rubber man and was restrained otherwise. Everyone in the video just now would have to die. Vista. Logia's devil fruit can't be worse. But that guy ended up flying to the boundless land. What is that? Gold Roger. Looks like a place above the sky. Golden Lion. Have you ever flown up to see it? Shiki. Are you kidding? I'm not Logia. After reaching a certain altitude, I can't breathe. Charlotte. Pudding. If it weren't for this movie viewing system, we would never know that there are so many magical places in this world. Sky Island is already amazing. I didn't expect that there is a boundless land above the sky. When the lamp of Shandora returned to the ground, the base of the Golden Bell was also exposed in front of everyone. It was a historical stone tablet. Robin stood in front of this piece of historical text and began to translate, while the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates took the opportunity to find gold. Robin looked at the text of the history and murmured, "The location of the ancient weapon Poseidon, with the name of God. Sengoku. Did you see? The identification of the historical text is all related to ancient weapon. The stone tablet underground in Alabasta was related to Pluton, and now the Lord 40 records the location of Poseidon in this historical text. Are there still people who question whether it was a mistake to eliminate O'Hara? Gold Roger. You can pull it down. There are so many identifications in the historical text, and there are only a few pieces that record the information of ancient weapon. It's just that Nico Robin was lucky and happened to encounter the information of Pluton and Poseidon in succession. Shiki. I just love the part where Sengoku's old face is swollen immediately. Geez, ha 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 ha. Sengoku. Roger, UBD. Stop talking nonsense. Edward Newgate. You're the one talking nonsense, right? Really, even if you're shameless, you can't talk so shamelessly. Marshall D. Teach. So, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates knows where Poseidon is now? If we can catch this Robin, wouldn't we be able to find Poseidon? Monkey D. Luffy. Don't even try to touch Robin. I won't let you get this. Vince Smokes Sanji. Looking for Robin sauce? I can't kick you to death. Hey, look, is the same text engraved next to the stone tablet? Just when Robin finished translating the historical text and was about to meet up with the Straw Hat Pirates, a Sky Island resident pointed to the other side of the steel and shouted to Robin. Huh? Noticing that there are texts on the side of the historical text stele, Robin was very surprised, because she has translated several historical text steles before, but all those historical text steles only have words on the front. How can this piece have words on the side? She looked over immediately and began to read in a murmur. I have traveled here and brought this article to the end of the world. There's also a signature, Gold. Luo Robin's eyes widened suddenly. It turned out to be the One Piece Roger. He has actually been to Sky Island. He can still write this kind of text. And Robin was as shocked as all the viewers, you know. Roger's words before his death opened the era of great voyages. No one could have imagined that he could actually write ancient characters. Is this the awesomeness of One Piece? Sengoku. Roger. Gold Roger. What? What's the matter? Empty. BD Roger. Where did you take this history text? Gold Roger. Guess? Shiki. Ha 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 ha. Let me guess. I guess you took this historical text rubbing and brought it to Raftel? Gold Roger. Ah ha ha ha. Golden Lion. Are you FG, a roundworm in my stomach? You guessed right away. Monkey D. Garp. Roger, what are you doing with that thing at Raftel? Crane. Garp, don't expose your IQ so much. Obviously, the big secret treasure, he said when he was executed, is this rubbing copy of the historical text. Kid Eustace. Nanny? The secret treasure is just some words? Capone Beach. No way. If we finally reach Raftel, we will only see a bunch of text? Sengoku. That's right. Roger the BD actually lied to everyone. If someone really stupidly arrived at Raftel, Shizukwin looked at the pile of broken text and died on the spot. Sengoku was quick-witted and immediately realized that this was an opportunity to dissuade the pirates from going to Raftel Urich. No way. Sir Roger, is this true? Skirachiman Apu. Biao biao. One Piece is not alive before dying. Cavendish. Mr. Roger, please tell us the truth, Joel D. Roger. Sengoku can believe what he says. He has never been to Raftel. How would he know what I put there? GOLD Roger. As I said at the beginning, I put all the treasures I have accumulated over the years as the one piece in Raftel. Of course, and all the rubbings of the historical texts I collected are also placed there. GOLD Roger. Whoever can reach Raftel can get all my treasures. Of course, you don't ignore the value of these historical texts. In my opinion, the value of these historical texts far exceeds the value of my treasures. Sengoku. BD Roger, stop talking nonsense. Don Quixote da Flamingo. Furo Furfer. Some idiots question the value of historical texts, just the information of ancient weapon. I'm afraid it's not comparable to the wealth. Gecko Moria. Hey hee 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 Capone Beach. Sure enough, the great secret treasure is real. Charlotte Linlin. Roger, now that you've been resurrected, start sharing the information on the historical text in the chat room. Shiki, huh? Linlin, your proposal is good. Duo. Lousy is also interested. Monkey Deem Long. Is such an important moment about to happen? GOLD Roger. Ha. Don't even think about it. Those things are prepared for the next One Piece. If you want to get my treasure and the content of the historical text, go find them yourself. One of the reasons why I don't want to say it is because even if Roger says the content of the historical text now, it won't help. The man the times are waiting for. Only when that person arrives at Raftel in person can these historical texts come into play. To be honest, Roger has now basically confirmed that the person who is in the era is Luffy. But even so, even if he told Luffy everything he knew, it was still useless. Again, Luffy has to arrive at Raftel in person. Otherwise, making sense. When so much information about Raftel's big secret treasure is revealed, people who are watching the movie are all aroused with ambition. All the treasures of One Piece Roger, plus the historical text information that is countless times more valuable than the treasures. Such a big secret treasure. Enough to make people crazy. Naval Headquarters, Marineford seeing what Roger said in the chat room. Sengoku was furious. He was staring at Roger on the deck of the Moby K ahead. Angry girl. Chuanja, you will destroy this world. Roger shrugged his shoulders and smiled lightly. Oh, then destroy. Sengoku felt the area around Hunku. A mouthful of reverse blood spurted out. By the way, little girl, don't you want gold? I heard that in King High, it is worth more than the earth. Chief Sandia pointed to the super huge golden pillar next to him and said, it is definitely impossible to give the golden bell to you, but I will give you this broken pillar. The residents of Angel Island next to them heard what Chief Sandia said, and they all agreed, what a great idea. We are thinking about how to thank them. This is a really good idea. Hearing this, Robin smiled. Really? Then they will be very happy. Seeing that Robin agreed, Chief Sandia immediately commanded, everyone work together to move this pillar to the King High people's boat. Yes, this is a gift to thank them for defeating Enel. Be careful, this is heavy. Wrap it with cloth, otherwise it will be difficult to move. Whether it's the angels or the sandiest. They all work together and start to act at this time. Afterwards, this over 20-meter long, super large golden pillar was tightly wrapped in cloth strips, and with the combined efforts of countless people, it slowly walked towards the Straw Hat Pirates. 3-1 Vinsmoke Sanji. Wait. This. Usopp. OMG. Nami Let me die. Monkey D. Luffy. HHH. Shanks. What's the matter? Luffy, what's the matter with you? GOLD Roger. Straw Hat Boys. Are you collectively insane? Capone Beach. What happened to the Straw Hat Pirates? It's scary. Trafalgar Law. The Straw Hats. What the hell is going on? Nico Robin. You will know when you look back, when the people of Angel Island and Sandia are working together to hold the Golden Pillar and go to the place where the Straw Hat Pirates and their party are. The Straw Hat Pirates are being called to go. Where's the cold gold item from the boa constrictor of the Overlord of the Sky? Why hasn't Robin come yet? It's so slow. Why is this place so empty? Where did those angels and gorillas go? Wouldn't it be better not to be here? Save them from chasing us. Yeah, we stole so much gold. Everyone is carrying a bulging package, which is filled with all kinds of gold treasures. Soon, they saw Robin and the people carrying the golden pillar. It's just that the gold pillar is wrapped in cloth at this time, and the gold cannot be seen from the outside. Luffy held up his hands and yelled to Robin, "Hey, Robin, hurry up. We're going to jump and run with gold." Sanji suddenly said angrily, "BD, keep your voice down. I didn't see so many people behind her." Yeah, the momentum is huge. Chopper was very surprised. Usopp held his head in his hands, breaking out in a cold sweat. Not good. They also have super cannons. At this time, Luffy showed a corner of his back with gold on his back, grinning and shouting, "Look, we have a big harvest. Robin, run. We can't stay here any longer." After speaking, Luffy ran away. This time, the people of Angel Island and Sandia are all in a hurry. Why are they leaving in such a hurry? Hey, wait a minute. Don't run. Everyone is carrying the golden pillar. Quickly speed up the pace and rush towards the direction of Luffy and others. But the Straw Hat Pirates were guilty of being a thief. When they saw these people speeding up towards them, they immediately panicked. Sanji was startled. No, it's revealed. Usopp is the fastest runner, and he still doesn't forget to say 3-7. Wait a little longer? You told us to wait a little longer, so we just wait a little longer. Luffy laughed loudly. Hey, Usopp, please express some reflections. Usopp jumped onto the boat, then turned back and said boldly, "We risked our lives all the way to Sky Island to find the legendary Golden Town. Don't you want us to be empty? Are you laughing your teeth out when you turn your hand back? Mouth off. Catch what? Didn't you say they would accept this golden pillar?" The people who watched the Straw Hat Pirates all ran away quickly, and the people of Sky Island all looked at Robin in a daze. Robin smiled. It seems that they don't want it anymore. Afterwards, Robin quickly ran to the Mary. The video plays here. The big screen with the color border slowly goes down. Puff. Just seeing this scene, everyone in the chat room burst into laughter. GOLD Roger. Haha. Damn it. They really made me laugh. Edward Newgate. These guys are really too polite. You don't even want such a big gold pillar goo. Trafalgar Law. No wonder they look crazy at this place. LOL. I'd be crazy too. Capone Beach. I'm afraid I would commit suicide. Haha. Jewelry Bonnie. It's a sad story, but for us it's too funny. Shiki, damn. What a group of talents. Chapter 107, 100% safe and secure on Sky Island. Please subscribe. Not long the screen with the red border slowly brightened again. Under the night, the Mary is sailing on the sea in Nami and Robin's room. Luffy is studying archaeology translation with Luo bow very seriously. This symbol should be translated as big, right? Luffy pointed to a symbol composed of 2 small rings and a long cylinder and asked, "Yes." Robin nodded, and then she raised her arms and gave a long waist. She patted her mouth, yawned and said, "Study during the day and study at night. Are you going to finish studying early and let me leave early?" "Ah, then you misunderstood." Not waiting for Luffy to answer, Nami on the side laughed. Luffy. He just wants to learn the knowledge early. As for other things, he won't go to the factory to think. That's right. When I first got on the boat, he came to me every night to read at night. And he learned all my sailing knowledge in just 3 months, Nami added. Hearing this, Robin felt a little more relaxed. Hey, Robin, can you tell us about what happened in O'Hara back then? Seeing Luffy burying his head in his studies, Nami started 8 trigrams and got up. Although this is a sad story for Robin, but after so many years, Robin's heart has long been less sensitive. She smiled softly. No one will believe you if you say it, so don't say it. Is it about Buster Call? At this time, Luffy raised his head. If it's not a secret, then tell us about it. No one stipulates that what is said must be believed by others. Hearing what Luffy said, a difference flashed across Robin's cheeks. Luffy's idea is quite different. After thinking for a while, Robin began to talk about what happened in O'Hara. The moon crows, the sound of the waves remains. When the fish belly in the east gradually lights up, a new day will come. On the deck of the 23 Mary, the partners of the Straw Hat Pirates started their morning exercises. What about Robin Sauce and Luffy? Sanji looked around and asked with some doubts. Nami spread her small hands. The two of them got it very late last night, so let's sleep a little longer now. Hateful. Hearing this, Sanji's neck became thick with jealousy. Time to noon, Nami suddenly exclaimed. The record pointer is broken. Everyone looked over immediately and saw that Nami flicked his wrist vigorously, but the direction of the record pointer was still pointing at the sky. Luffy narrowed his eyes slightly. Don't worry. It doesn't matter if it's broken. I'll get a new one somewhere. While I left Alabasta before, Luffy considered that the record pointers might be damaged due to accidents. So, I bought a full 10 record pointers at Alabasta. Although the price of the record pointer is not low, but for today's Straw Hat Pirates, this little money is really not even a sprinkle of water. After a while, Luffy came out of the cabin with a livid face. Something is wrong. All the record pointers are pointing to the sky. What? This unscrupulous boss sold us all fake products. Usopp clenched his fists angrily. However, Luffy shook his head. Impossible. I bought these record pointers in 2 stores, so they can't all be fakes. And the record pointer in Nami's hand was given by Uncle Crocus. If there is a problem, it can only be there. Luffy points to the sky. Nami, Red Luffy is amazing. I found a problem right away. Then smoked Sanji. Hey. He took 10 record pointers. Can't this find a problem? Monkey D. Luffy, huh? This is a good way. We will also carry 10 record pointers when we go to sea in the future. Even if one is broken, there are still many spares, and we can also compare each other to check whether the record pointer is broken. Seeing that the Red Luffy held out 10 record pointers at once, the White Luffy here shouted that this method is good. Trafalgar Law. Interesting. I also need to prepare a few more record pointers. Capone Beach. It makes sense at this time, Luo Bao said seriously. Sky Island must have taken away the record. Sky Island? Everyone is full of question marks. Luffy asked suspiciously. Are there islands in the sky? What do they rely on to float in the air? No. To be precise, what floats in the air should be the sea. Robin made a slight speculation, but then she shook her head again. But I have only heard about Sky Island. But frankly speaking, I haven't read any literature about Sky Island Sea. Hearing this, Luffy became even more puzzled. Sea water should not be able to float in the air anymore. If there is too much water, it should rain. Nami then echoed. That's right, this is impossible. How can the island and the sea float in the air? Maybe there's a problem with the magnetic field here. Robin shook his head. Nami, you and Luffy are both very good navigators. You should know that, as long as the record pointer is not broken, since the magnetic field points upward, there must be an island above. Salvage. Kung. Salvage. Kung. Suddenly, there was a sound of gongs, drums, and slogans on the sea. I saw a boat with a bow in the shape of a monkey playing a gong approaching here. Boys, have you reached the shipwreck yet? A burly figure leaned against the railing and asked. No, Sir Director. The crew members answered together. The burly figure asked again. Then why did you stop? The crew members continued to answer. Meet a ship. Sir Director. Hearing this, the burly figure turned around, and it turned out to be an ape man wearing earphones listening to music. He looked at Luffy and the others. What are you doing here? This sea area is my territory. I can salvage the sunken ships here. Luffy said, we just passed by here by boat and didn't plan to fish here. But our record pointers are all pointing to the sky. Do you know what's going on? Hearing that Luffy and the others were just passing by, the ape man's face suddenly softened. He explained, there's indeed a problem with this sea area. Only the permanent record pointer can be used here, just like the permanent record pointer in my hand is a special guide to Gaia Island. Luffy nodded. I see. Could you please take us to the island you mentioned? We will also go there to buy a permanent record pointer. The ape man said generously, no problem. Just as we are about to return, you just follow us. DX. Several huge figures suddenly appeared in the sky. Those people seemed to be giants standing behind the clouds, overlooking the earth. Run, sail the boat. The crew of the salvage ship of the Ape Mountain United Army suddenly shouted in horror and hurriedly set sail. The Straw Hat Pirates were also stunned by the huge figure in the sky, because these voices are really too loud. Even the two giants Buggy and Dory are very delicate compared to them. Is there really such a big person in the world? A question popped up in Luffy's mind. However, seeing the ship of the Surima United Army run away, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates did not dare to stay here. If you lose your track, you will just be floating in the ocean following the salvage ship of the Surima United Army. The Straw Hat Pirates arrived at the northeast corner of Gaia Island. The salvage ship docked, and all the crew members on the ship went ashore in a panic, lying on the ground and breathing heavily, obviously frightened by the movie in the sky. Just now, the Straw Hat Pirates also went ashore. Afterwards, they learned from the ape population that it is said that monsters sometimes appear in the sky in this sea area. They did not expect to meet them today. At this time, Mont Blanc Coolie Guy came out from the next room, and he was a little surprised to see the Straw Hat Pirates. But after the ape man explained, he had no worries. Afterwards, the Straw Hat Pirates learned about the cumulus cloud from Coolie Guy and the so-called soaring ocean current, etc. As for the matter of Sky Island, Lianli Guy said that it's just people's speculation. Isn't this the story of North Blue's household name? Suddenly, Sanji saw the storybook on the small table and exclaimed. Subsequently, Coolie Kate introduced his relationship with Mont Blanc Nolando again. So, I hope this matter can be found out before I die of exhaustion. Coolie Guy said, Uncle, since there's a legend about Sky Island here, is it possible? Actually, the half of the island that Nolando mentioned didn't fall into the sea, but flew into the sky. After listening to what Coolie Guy said, Luffy asked suspiciously. As soon as this remark came out, Coolie Guy laughed out loud. Don't be kidding. Sky Island is just people's speculation after all, and the sky current brought up many ships, but none of them brought back the information of Sky Island. Those ships were finally proved to have fallen from another place and crashed. At this time, the setting sun began to set, and the sunlight slanted from Luffy's back, stretching his figure very long on the ground. Luffy looks at his own shadow, frowning sudden wrinkle. He turned his head to look in the direction of the setting sun, and immediately slapped his thigh. I know, those black shadows in the sky are actually people living in Sky Island. Sky Island really exists. Hey, Luffy, do you have a fever? Usopp hurried over and patted Luffy's forehead. Coolie Guy also said firmly, Impossible. If Sky Island is full of those people, how big is the island enough for those people to live? Luffy shakes her head. No, they may not be big at all. How is it possible? Didn't we see it with our own eyes? They are really big. Nami said. Zoro also nodded. Yes. Luffy, those figures are really amazing. You got it wrong. Luffy pointed to his own shadow on the ground and said, Look, this is my shadow. Due to the oblique sunlight, my shadow is at least 10 meters long now. But am I that tall? Hey, this. Hearing what Luffy said, everyone was stunned. Yes, shadows can be deceiving. Luffy continued. Do you still remember those huge black shadows? They can move freely in 390 degrees, which means that the bodies of these shadows are definitely humanoid creatures as long as their position and those cumulus clouds reach a certain distance and angle. Isn't it reasonable that their shadows are placed so large? One Usopp. Hey. It's so monstrous. It was analyzed right away. Trafalgar Law. The man in the red straw hat is insanely smart. Nico Robin. Just a shadow reminds me of the relationship between the position of Sky Island and Cumulus, which, Tony Chopper, we also had shadows at the time, but why didn't we think of it? Ben Beckman. I feel Red Luffy's IQ may not be lower than mine. Shanks. Ha. Be confident and remove the possibility. Ben Beckman. Uncle. If one go to Sky Island, is there a good way? I judged in my heart that Sky Island exists, so Luffy naturally wanted to see it. The original ideal was to see the world, and now there is such a magical place as Sky Island. How could I not go? No. Cully Guy shook his head immediately. This ship simply cannot withstand the impact of the soaring ocean current. Even if we help you strengthen the ship will still be damaged. What's more, even if you really go up, if there's no Sky Island on it, then your regret will be... Cully Guy picked up a clod of soil, then let go of his hand, and immediately the clod was shattered. Nami pulled Luffy's arm. Luffy, I also don't think it's suitable to go up. If the judgment is wrong, then we will be greeted by broken bones. One Usopp said, if the melee bears the impact of the soaring ocean current, it may cause serious injuries. It seems that Luffy smiled. Don't worry about this. Don't worry, I cherish the melee more than anyone else. With me in the sky, the sea current will not cause her any harm for sail. As for the consequences if there is no Sky Island in the sky, I have also considered it. Have you forgotten that I am a hot air balloon? Luffy said. Hot air balloon. Partners suddenly remembered that when Luffy fell off the head of Sea Kings, Luffy directly turned into a hot air balloon and floated away with the Mary. And Luffy said that the Mary will not be damaged by the soaring current. Although everyone can't figure out how to keep the Mary from any damage, everyone knows that Luffy will never lie to them. Since Luffy says it can be done, it can be done. Then, when all possible negative consequences are guaranteed, everyone seems to be full of yearning for Sky Island. Chapter 108, Zoro Above the Clouds, Overlooking the Sky. Please subscribe. Monkey D, Luffy. I really thought of everything over there. Compared with him, I feel that we were too reckless when we went to Sky Island. If there was any accident at that time, everyone would die because of my recklessness. Usopp, what are you talking about? How can I not understand? Nami. Stupid Luffy, we are one. Why is it because of your recklessness? That was our mutual decision. Capone Beach. Isn't that right? I remember watching the video before. Usopp and Nami were so scared to death. They didn't want to go. They were forced to go by the Straw Hat Boy Usopp. When did you become blind? Nami. Obviously, we decided together. Sister Robin, is that so? Nico Robin. Yeah. Vinsmoke Sanji. Nami-chan is right. Capone Beach. Trafalgar Law. Huh. Let you talk more after listening to what Luffy said. Nami happily took Luffy's arm. Since we don't have any worries, then let's explore if there is any free time. Don't worry. We have to go to the town on the island to buy the permanent record pointer here. If we fall from the sky, if the record pointer is taken away by Sky Island, then we have to rely on the permanent record pointer to ensure our safe return to the island. Luffy said. Nami patted his head. Yes. As a navigator, I must have forgotten it. Robin on the side stares at Luffy. In such a short period of time, the shock in Robin's heart has increased several times. She couldn't have imagined that a boy who is only about 16 years old can analyze all the things in place in an instant, and even thought of the plan for the consequences of the day. Sea monster, what's more important is that such a monstrous guy is actually a studious and inquisitive existence. Such a person, no wonder his partners are so convinced of him. In a trance, Robin has a desire to join this group. At this time, Coolie Guy said, if you insist on going to Sky Island, then tomorrow is the time. Of course, he doesn't want these people in front of him to make fun of his own life. But since Luffy just said that he's made a perfect plan, Cully Guy will of course try to persuade him day besides. He also pinned his hopes on the group in front of him. wanting to see if Sky Island really exists. If Sky Island really exists, can these guys really discover things related in Orlando in Sky Island? Luffy nodded. Okay, Uncle, we have to go to the town to buy some things first. Where is there anything here? There's a town in the southwest corner of Gaia Island called Magic Valley Town, and there's a commercial street there. But you have to be careful. Then you are a place where pirates gather, and you must not provoke those who cannot be provoked. Coolie Guy reminded. Pirates. When hearing this word, the eyes of the Straw Hat Pirates and the rest of the group immediately lit up. Poliusolino. Hey. What's the matter with those guys' eyes? Hina. This is clearly the appearance that only appears when the eyes of money are opened. Trafalgar Law. Look at Nami, whose eyes have become the shape of Bailey, Nico, Robin. It really is Jewel the Roger. These guys, how do they feel that what they hear is not the word pirate, but Bailey? Ging. I can probably guess what they're going to do next. Mary sailed along the coastline of Gaia Island and finally arrived at the port of Magic Valley Town. Wow, these are all pirate ships. Looking at the densely packed pirate ships in the port, Nami's excited little hands pinched Luffy's arm. Get rich, get rich. Quickly calculate. How much does this cost? I will be in charge later. Find out if there's a marine base nearby. The group of people have not disembarked yet. They are trembling with excitement. Afterwards, Luffy, Zoro, Buggy, and Nami disembarked to step on the spot and buy things by the way while the others stayed on the boat. The four of them stepped into the town. Looking around, there are pirates coming in and out of the shops everywhere. Nami holds a thick stack of bounty booklets bound by herself in her hand, flipping through them as she walks. Hey, look at that one. Rainy Night Butcher Samkey. Picture reward 2,700 Bailey. Good. This is good. Brother Powell. The two add up to only 2,100 Baileys cut. This is not bad too. 30 million Baileys. Get rich. This time I really got rich. The four of them came to a shop specializing in recording pointers with a good mood. Boss, here are 10 pointers to the permanent record of Gaia Island. The family is rich. Luffy will not pick and search when spending money. Okay. Grandpa, I'll get you some here. When I heard that it was a big dog, the owner of the store smiled. Luffy stopped him and asked, No hurry. Do you have a permanent record pointer to the next island? After all, if you fail to land on Sky Island, you may not necessarily land near Gaia Island when you land. So if there is a permanent record pointer for the next island here, then prepare it together. Be prepared. Yes, the next island is Lilith Island. How many do you want? There are still 10. Luffy said boldly. Okay. The boss was so excited that he brought over 20 permanent record pointers. After receiving the money, the store owner suddenly added, That's right, Grandpa. There's a large marine base in Lilith Island, which is the 7th branch of Marine. If you are going there, you must be careful. The 7th branch of Marine? Still large. The four of Luffy look at each other. Isn't it perfect? Out of the store, everyone went to buy some daily necessities and then returned to the melee. Through the record of the permanent record pointer, I calculated the time needed to go back and forth from Gaia Island to Lilith Island, and it will take at least 2 days. However, according to what Coolie Guy said, there will be a soaring current tomorrow. If you miss it, you can only determine the approximate time range next time. You have to confirm the time of the cumulus cloud again to guess the time of the soaring current. After thinking about it carefully, Luffy decided to go to Sky Island first. It's not too late to go to Magic Valley Town to collect after coming down from Sky Island. Sengoku, damn, are these bastards using Marine Base as a cash machine? Shiki, look at your worthless appearance. Didn't they trade pirates for you? It's not for nothing. Sengoku, but the Marine Base soldiers will be beaten for nothing. Thinking of the Straw Hat Gang 5 going to collect the bounty, Sengoku can't help but feel sad for the Marines at Marine Base over there. Joel D. Roger. It's not your fault. Who told you over there to fulfill their bounties? Monkey D. Luffy. What kind of bird is Lilith Island? Why haven't we been there? Nami. From the nautical chart, the original route we took should be Drum Island to Copper Furnace Island, Gaia Island after Copper Furnace Island, Lilith Island after Gaia Island, and then the Long Ring Islands. However, The record pointer was taken away by Sky Island during our journey to Copper Furnace Island. When we came down from the end of the cloud on Sky Island, we were directly near the Long Ring Islands. Monkey D, Luffy. So it's like this. The next day, northeast corner of Gaia Island, the Surima allied forces and the Mary are dispatched together. According to the judgment of Coolie Guy, the 8 Mountain United Army quickly found the location where the soaring ocean current will appear. Mary arrives at the scheduled location after waiting for about an hour. A huge Uzumaki suddenly appeared on the calm sea. Very good. The direction of the cumulus cloud is coming in the direction of Uzumaki, and it is. The 8-man looked through the binoculars and then shouted at the Mary, "Quick, it's now. Let the boat go to the center of Uzumaki immediately." On the other side, the orangutan also shouted, "Don't forget to protect your boat. If you don't take any measures, your boat will be torn apart the moment the current surges into the sky." Got it. Thank you so much. Luffy waved his hand, motioning them to retreat quickly to avoid being affected by the surging ocean current. Luffy, we're approaching the Uzumaki Center. Is that okay? Usopp holds the steering wheel of the ship and asks nervously, "You just open it. Leave the rest to me." Luffy's observation haki has been fully released and has been keeping an eye on the movement in the sea. Usopp, where's their protective measures? Why haven't I seen it yet? If you don't act, it will be too late. Capone Beach. It's too late to act now, Jewelry Polly. Yes, if you want to strengthen the hull, you should at least strengthen it in advance. GOLD Roger. What the hell is the Straw Hat Kid over there going to do? Marshall D. Teach. Shouldn't it be too big, and it will be directly wiped out by the soaring sea current group? Thief ha ha ha. Marco E. Teach. Don't be so weird. Boom. Suddenly, the terrifying vibration of an earthquake came from the bottom of the sea. Immediately, I saw that the sea's surface suddenly had a tendency to bulge upwards. Luffy, I'm in. Usopp turned the steering wheel and pushed the Mary directly into the center of Uzumaki. Good, Luffy shouted, and suddenly his heartbeat resounded. This moment, his appearance has changed a bit. Hair turned into a state like a white flame. There are flowing clouds like white flames on the neck and arms. Phantom Beast Nika form. That is to say, at the moment when he transformed into the form of Nika, the melee under his feet was also instantly affected by him. The whole body is completely rubberized. Not only that, Luffy also carefully rubberized all his partners. Boom! Huge currents shoot out from the bottom of the sea, not gush instead. It shoots into the sky at an extremely terrifying speed. Mary is right in the middle of the raging ocean current. The bottom of the melee was suddenly sunken by the current, making the entire hull a V-shape with an arrow pointing upward. Under the power of the soaring ocean current, the V arrow left the surface of the sea and went straight to the sky. Polysolino, Nanny? He actually activated the awakening ability of the fruit. Kazan, hey? This method, GOLD Roger. It was unexpected. Don Quixote, Doflamingo, this guy. He gave the boat the properties of rubber, so that the rushing currents can't cause damage to the hull. WW. Monkey D. Garp. Not only that, look at the hull of the Mary. Hearing what Garp said, people took a closer look. FK. And armament haki? Good guy, the rubberization of the awakening ability plus high-level armament haki. Even if Admiral attacks himself, the ship cannot be easily damaged. Monkey D. Luffy. He did it. He really did what he promised to the Mary. Little Melly. Our Luffy is working hard too. Nico Robin. No. Luffy over there missed one thing. Nami, what's wrong? Nico Robin. When we enter the White Sea, we pass through the White Sea. After entering there, Luffy's ability will be invalid. When everyone heard it, they immediately understood what Robin meant once Luffy loses his ability due to the effect of the seawater. The melee will directly, Good Zhao Zhao, bear the impact of the soaring ocean current, and it may directly explode in the White Sea. Not good. Everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates is deeply worried. The soaring ocean current went all the way up, and soon approached Cumulus Cloud. Luffy, it seems to be a sea of clouds. Nami looked up. Hearing the word sea, Luffy's heart skipped a beat. Missed this. But it doesn't matter. I still have a partner. Suddenly, Luffy shouted, Buggy, Zoro, open the sea. The two looked up and immediately realized the devastating consequences of sea water. Buggy flew out with both hands and flew up with Zoro. Sanglong, the three knives are unsheathed in an instant. He Dao with one word in your mouth, Chong Ding, and another knife in your hand. 9 mountains and 8 seas form one world, and gathering thousands of worlds will form a small 1,000 worlds. This world is multiplied by 3, and those who are selfless. 3 swords mysteries. One big 3,000 big 1,000 worlds. Zoro's figure is like an arrow from string. 3 blades covered with nearly high-grade armament, Haki, roll, endless blade wind. Whoosh! Zoro rushed into the sea of clouds above. It was as if a kind of shell had smashed into the ground, and the bottom of the sea sank in an instant. Boom! The top of the sea exploded with a bang. A figure spins out. The 3 knives were inserted into the scabbard in an instant. Buggy's hands hold Zoro's shoulders, making Zoro stand in midair. Zoro clasped his hands in front of his chest, posing in a herringbone shape, and looked down. In his vision, in the water of the White Sea, there is an extremely rough and bright channel directly below. In this passage, the Mary rides the wind and waves and dives out. Scare 1. Chapter 109, Wanted for Money? Damn, Ape King's Spear. Please subscribe. Hiss. When the scene where Zoro pierced through the White Sea and successfully cleared the way for the Mary appeared on the screen, almost all the moviegoers gasped. Vinsmoke Sanji, damn it, that green algae head over there is so pushy. Vista, this cut is so handsome. Jewelry Bonnie, how can this guy be so handsome? Gold Roger, haha, this kid, he pretended to be it. Dracula Myhawk, this trick has a good name. Buggy, hey, my uncle has become the foil of that guy. Monkey D. Luffy, wow, haha. Zoro can't fly so far without your hands flying out with Zoro. Your contribution is also great, cut through the White Sea with one blow. To be honest, although it is difficult, there are still some swordsmen who can do this. Only using this slash in the background situation just now, the bonus to handsomeness and force is too great, whether it comes from the trust of his teammates or the degree of crisis to save the entire crew. All make Zoro's slash full of special meaning. It looks like a very powerful blow, but it symbolizes the complete trust between partners. The Mary rushed out of the White Sea and soared into the sky. Wow. There's really a sea of clouds on the splint. Nami tightly grasped the fence, looked at this other world that suddenly appeared in front of her eyes, and shouted in surprise. Luffy stretched his hands and legs, clasped the hull of the Mary, took a deep breath, and turned himself into a big fat man. Rubber, hot air balloon. On the surface of the White Sea below, the channel pierced by Zoro is refilled by the frenzied influx of seawater. As the hot air balloon Luffy landed slowly, the Mary landed on the sea smoothly, slightly loosened the 2 legs, and found that the Melly has no sign of sinking. Luffy then loosened both hands. It's done. It's really possible to sail here. Luffy shouted in surprise. Robin raised his slender fingers and built a pergola in front of his forehead. Looking up, she sighed. Sure enough, there is Kukai, but here is a vast expanse of whiteness. Where is Sky Island? At this time, Nami looked at the record pointer on his neck in surprise. Why is the record pointer still pointing up? Yeah? Hearing this, Luffy looked over and then looked up. It seems that Sky Island is still 177 higher in the sky. Robin also nodded. It seems that this is just the middle layer of the cumulus cloud. Then how should we continue going up? Chopper sat on the railing, knocking on each other with his short legs. Luffy shook his head. I don't know, but since this is the sea of clouds, we can look around. His observation haki is open, and there is no special place found for the time being day. Anyway, it's rare to come to such a magical place. Let me try swimming in this sea first. Usopp smiled, took off his shirt, and climbed onto the railing. Hey. We are not familiar with this sea area, and we don't know what's in it. So let's not mess around. Sanji smoked a cigarette and immediately reminded, but as soon as he finished speaking, Usopp jumped off. Luffy's observation haki immediately locked Usopp's movement. It seems that the seawater resistance in this sea area is very low. Usopp will go down immediately. Huh, wait. Luffy just said a few words. Suddenly his eyes widened. He hurriedly rushed to the side of the boat and punched the sea below. His fist rushed directly into the sea. 100 eyes bloom. Seeing this, Robin crossed his hands, opening many eyes on Luffy's palms and arms, of course. Luffy doesn't need this. And Robin also knows that Luffy's observation haki can lock Usopp. She used this trick only because she was curious and wanted to know what happened inside. Luffy's arm quickly passed through the thickness of the White Sea and came directly to the sky below. Usopp sees Luffy's big rubber hands wrapping him around him in a horrified yell. With Luffy's arm retracted, Usopp is pulled onto the splint. Oh my god. I was scared to death. I went directly through the sea below. If Luffy didn't pull me back in time, I would definitely fall to pieces. Usopp breathed hard. He patted his own mouth hard. Sanji lit a cigarette and shrugged his shoulders. I said earlier that we're not familiar with this place. So don't be reckless. Look, it's almost over. No. The sea below has very little resistance, so it's easy to dive in. Moreover, the visibility in the sea is very low, and there is a vast expanse of whiteness everywhere. Otherwise, I would definitely not swim to the bottom of the sea. Usopp explained. Looking at Usopp's drowned look, Nami said slightly, "That means as long as you don't swim to the bottom of the sea, you won't fall into the sky below, right?" "Yes. If I do it again, I will definitely not be so embarrassed." Usopp replied. Nami heard this and stepped onto the railing. "If that's the case, then I'll try 10 times too. Let's see if this Weihai will also have a curse effect on Devil Fruit's ability, Nanny." Everyone is stunned, but if you think about it carefully, it seems to be right. Normal sea water will turn demon fruit power into a landlubber. I wonder if this sea of clouds will work too. Luffy remembered to save me. While everyone was still in a daze, Nami had already plunged into it. Then, not a single bubble came out. Forehead. Perceiving Nami's situation, Luffy smashed his tongue speechlessly. He stretched out his hand and plunged into the water. His 5 fingers spread wide, wrapped Nami up, and then pulled it onto the merry skewer. Nami leaned against Luffy weakly and said depressedly, "How it seems that the Sea of Clouds has the same effect as the sea." Vin smoked. Sanji, damn. Red Luffy took advantage of Nami again. Roronoa Zoro. Idiot. Nami over there is taking advantage of Luffy. Nami, hey. Nico Robin. Aha. Suddenly, a shell bombarded me. Luffy's arms stretched out, his palms enlarged. He grabbed the cannonball and then threw it back at speed as fast as Garp's fistbone meteor. On the surface of the sea, a Sandia soldier was immediately bombarded and turned black. Luffy grabbed his arm again and carried him directly to the deck of the Mary. This unlucky guy is already passed out. It seems that he was already passed out the moment the shell hit him. Buggy goes up to uncover this person's ghost mask and then wakes him up with 2 slaps. "Hey, BD, why are you bombarding our ships so well?" Buggy asked as he watched the Sandian warrior wake up leisurely. "Damn intruder." As soon as he woke up, the Shandia warrior wanted to continue fighting, but was suppressed by Luffy's Conqueror's Haki, who was a little sideways. Luffy asked straight to the point. "First, we are not intruders. Second, where is Sky Island and how to lose it?" "Oomph. Damn intruder." Sandia warrior turned his head. Only this sentence. So tough. Luffy grinned slightly and then said, "Take his equipment, then tie it up and throw it into the sea." Zoro and Buggy immediately unloaded the Sandia gorilla's equipment and tied it into rice dumplings. Luffy pouted at him. "Last chance, do you want to say?" Sandia warriors are still. "Damn invaders. Great warriors will not let you go." Luffy's feet die. Point a hook. The Sandia warrior fell off the boat. Luffy's observation haki locked him and was surprised to find that this guy just struggled a few times, but didn't show any regrets and begging for mercy. All right. Luffy's arms stretched, and when he crossed the bottom of the sea, he was pulled back. What? Don't kill me. The untied Sandia warrior looked at the equipment thrown back to him and asked in a cold voice, although I don't know what your people have experienced, but don't use the word invader to call others. Get out. Luffy kicked this Sandia warrior's A and kicked him flying. Why don't you kill him? Robin asked curiously. Luffy said lightly, looking at his situation, it may be that his hometown has been attacked by invaders, but it may also be lying to us, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, we are going to Sky Island, and we will meet his people sooner or later. If they're a damned group of people, it will not be too late to kill him then. Then, the Mary continued to explore Buggy's head, is flying in the air as a spy. Finally, after sailing for a period of time, the group found the Gate of Heaven. Surveillance Officer Amazon came out. If you want to go to the upper level, each person needs to pay 1 billion Aegis coins. This is the law. How much? How much? Hearing this price, all the friends of the Straw Hat Pirates were shocked. Nami opened his mouth even more. Besides, we only have Pele. I've never heard of Aegis coins, Bailey. Oh, by the way, you are from King High, and 1 billion Aegis coins are equal to 100,000 Baileys. Everyone pays 100,000 Pele will be able to enter. Surveillance Officer Amazon continued. 100,000 Baileys? It's too dark. 7 of us bring a pet. And it costs 700,000 Baileys just to enter the door. Hey, if we come here to spend. Nami waved her small fist, dissatisfied. Surveillance Officer Amazon continued. Pets also have to pay 100,000 Baileys. However, if you don't want to pay this money, you can go in. Really? Everyone suddenly smiled. However, Luffy said directly, no, we pay. Since you said this is the law of this country, then let's do as the Romans do. Nami was shocked. Hey, Luffy, she clearly said that she can go in without paying. Luffy smiled. Let's pay for it. We have to pay for the entrance fee when we go to the amusement park. Now that their country has this regulation, we'll treat it as if we came to a place above the sky. I visited the amusement park. Okay. Hearing what Luffy said, Nami suddenly felt that it made sense. Take out 800,000 Baileys and hand them to the Surveillance Officer Amazon. Nami looked at the waterfall in front of him. So, shall we go to the upper level? Surveillance Officer Amazon took out a whistle and blew it, and soon a prawn suddenly appeared on the bottom of the Mary. The moment the prawn held the melee with its pincers, Luffy's armed aura instantly covered Meili's mouth. Surveillance Officer Amazon said, "This is the Baihai specialty Express Shrimp. It will send you up." As soon as the voice fell, the Express Shrimp rushed towards the waterfall, and then, under everyone's stunned eyes, the Express Shrimp actually climbed up the straight waterfall. Don't tell me this speed is not very fast. Just as the melee was leaving, the Surveillance Officer Amazon took out his phone. Heaven's Gate supervisors view the Amazon report. Almighty God and all the priests, please impose heaven's punishment on the 8 illegal immigrants who went to the holy land of the kingdom of God. Monkey D. Luffy. Nanny. The old BD. Nami. Damn it. We didn't pay the money when we went. And it's fine if she wanted us. The red Luffy over there paid the money. Vinsmoke Sanji. It is estimated that she is here not to accept money or not, but to intercept the images of King High people entering Sky Island for Enel and his gang to hunt and kill for entertainment. Roronoa Zoro. It seems so. It's a pity that Luffy and the others over there not only wanted, but also spent an extra 800,000 Baileys Trafalgar Law. Not necessarily. The Mary over there has just gone not far away. Observation Haki, who is in charge of the red straw hat, must be able to hear the old woman's words. Express Shrimp took the melee and went up the waterfall. Luffy frowned suddenly. Go back. He ordered the Express Shrimp below. Robin opened his red lips in astonishment when he heard this. No way. Are you planning to communicate with a shrimp? However, Luffy glared at the Express Shrimp, and the Express Shrimp, which was still racing all the way, immediately turned around and turned back. Huh? Why are you back again? Watching the Express Shrimp send the boat back, Surveillance Officer Amazon frowned. Come back and beat you. Luffy picked up the Surveillance Officer Amazon and searched the 800,000 Bailey for her just now. Facing such a rude Luffy, the Surveillance Officer Amazon immediately yelled, Hey, hello. UBD. I'm the Surveillance Officer of the Gate of Heaven. You want to violate this is the law. There's a fart law. Luffy pouted, then tossed Amazon into the air. He puts his right hand in his mouth, takes a bite, and blows. Then suddenly stretched backward. Rubber, rubber, ape king gun. Boom! Surveillance officer Amazon turned into a small black dot and disappeared into the clouds. What's going on? Everyone looked at Luffy in astonishment. Let's talk on the road. Luffy shrugged his shoulders, then glared at Express Shrimp. Express Shrimp ran to the waterfall with a Mary. Chapter 110 God is here. God is gone. Please subscribe. GOLD Roger. Haha. Good. This kid, he never stays overnight. Edward Newgate. Gula la la la. Being a pirate, that's how it should be. As long as you think it's right, do it without hesitation. Nami. It's so comfortable. It's so comfortable to see this old woman having bad luck. Usopp. This damn old woman, call her a bad heart. This time she will be sanctioned. Frankie, haha. Super. Express Shrimp took the Mary to the top of the waterfall. Here is another Cloud Sea road that spirals upwards. There's a big hole at the end of the road that circles the sea of clouds. Whoosh! When the Express Shrimp flew out of the hole, it let go of the claws holding the Mary. Luffy used the hot air balloon to successfully land the Mary in the Bye-Bye Sea. What comes into view is a vast expanse of white ocean. You can see clouds like a beach not far away. In the distance, the clouds are like cotton candy, like countless hillsides. Above it, there is a staircase that looks like it was artificially built, leading to the top of the clouds on the hillside. Nami pointed to the distance in surprise and shouted, "Look! There's so many buildings over there. It's Sky Island. There are really people on Sky Island. An island in the sky. This place is like a dream country." As soon as the Mary landed, Usopp jumped off. He walked back and forth a few steps and shouted, "Come down quickly. These clouds are the same as the clouds at the gate of heaven just now. They can stand on them. They are very soft." Then, the members of the Straw Hat Pirates jumped down one after another. Come to such a magical place. No one is not excited. It's like a group of piglets just released from the pigsty, having fun and running. Watching the happy scene of the Straw Hat Pirates, Robin stood on the deck with mixed feelings. Before this, every time she goes to sea and lands, she has a purpose, and she must always be on guard against this and that. It can be said that the vigilance in her heart has been put down from the second mouth, however. At this moment, he looked at this situation, and it was rare for him to open his heart that had been on guard getting off the boat. Robin opened his hands, facing the wind, letting the sun shine on his face. It turns out that living in the sun is also a good experience. Look, it's an angel. Suddenly, Sanji has a red heart. Everyone looked over, and sure enough, there was a girl with a super slender figure standing on the hillside, and plucking the harp. This girl has straight legs, 2 small white wings behind her shoulders, and 2 butterflies with the same type of antennae on her head. After some exchanges, everyone knows that the girl is a resident of Sky Island. Her name is Coney's. Coney's invited the Straw Hat Pirates to her home, and everyone ate delicious Sky Island specialties. After dinner, Coney's father and daughter accompanied the Straw Hat Pirates to Angel Beach for a walk, ready to digest food. Luffy thought of the masked man before, so he asked, "By the way, we met a man wearing a mask and wearing skate shoes on his feet. Who is that?" Coney's father thought for a while, then nodded. "You should be talking about Sandia. They often send guerrilla music to Yuhai to stop the King High people trying to enter Sky Island. They look very different from your father and daughter. Aren't they from Sky Island?" Luffy continued to ask. Coney's father also seems to be a chatterbox, so he started talking slowly. This thing has been said for a long time. About 400 years ago, a piece of land in King High was washed into the sky by a monster current. At that time, our ancestors had never seen the land, so they regarded this land as a holy land, and then expelled the aborigines on the island and renamed it Island of the Gods. Hearing this, Sanji was stunned. "Nanny? So, your ancestors were invaders?" Coney's father nodded shyly. "It can be said so, and the Sandias have never given up wanting to take back this land. For this reason, the aborigines of Sky Island and the Sandias have been fighting for land for 400 years, etc." Luffy suddenly interrupted Coney's father. He looked around suspiciously and said, "That's not right. Aren't the people around here all the aborigines of Sky Island? But you don't live in your so-called Holy Land. The entire Holy Land seems to be only a few dozen people. Luffy looked around, and the surrounding houses were obviously located on this kind of cloud, not the field area. As for why Luffy knows that there are only a few dozen people in the entire Holy Land, it's because Luffy checked with Observation Haki just now, and there's a land island not far from Angel Beach. On that piece of land, there are only a few dozen humanoid figures in total, huh? You know the Holy Land? Hearing what Luffy said, Konis's father suddenly showed shock on his face, and even the two-touch Kakadu trembled. Luffy nodded, pointed to the south with his finger. Yes, I can feel it. It's in that direction. Why are there only a few dozen people living in such a large piece of land? Konis's father suddenly showed a look of embarrassment. Seeing that Konis's father couldn't answer, Luffy frowned slightly. So, what you told us just now is actually a lie to us, right? I thought Luffy was going to hit someone, but Konis's cheeks changed slightly, and he shouted, "It's not that 11's father didn't lie to you. That place is now where God lives." God? As soon as the words came out, everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates showed a black question mark expression pack at the same time. Ha 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 ha. The next moment, everyone burst into laughter. Are you kidding us? How can there be a God in this world? Ha ha ha. What the hell, it's all a lie. We don't look like a fool, do we? Why lie to us with such absurd lies? Listening to the laughter of everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates, Konis's father and daughter's faces suddenly became horrified. They were sweating and trembling nonstop. Don't say it anymore. Please don't say it anymore. Our Sky Island really has a God. If you offend the God, you will be punished by the God. Konis can clearly feel that everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates does not take God seriously. Once you really offend God, it's over. Is there really a God? Recognizing that the emotions of Konis and his daughter are not faked, Luffy stopped laughing. Konis nodded quickly. Of course it's true. God is high above. He can know everyone's thoughts. Don't be disrespectful to him. Luffy understands. The two people in front of me have been brainwashed by the so-called God. He said in a deep voice. Actually, there's no God in this world. If there is, then someone must be pretending to be a god. As soon as these words came out, the faces of Konis's father and daughter suddenly became terrified. And at this time, the sky suddenly became so bright. The panic on the faces of Konis's father and daughter is rendered more realistic. Everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates looked up at the sky, only to see a rapid cluster of lightning suddenly appearing in the sky, like a thunderbolt waterfall, falling down violently. Konis's father and daughter are desperate. Luffy instantly enters Nika form, then raises one hand and opens it to the sky. Boom, all the violent lightning beams hit Luffy's palm. And then there is no more. Even if some splashed lightning ripples fall on other people, it is impossible to cause any effective damage, of course. Luffy has already used rubber assimilation on them. No matter how strong the current is, they can't hurt them. Konis's father and daughter are sitting slumped on the ground with their mouths open and their pupils widening. They couldn't believe that someone could resist God's sanction. Originally, they thought they would be affected and die. But now not only did they not die, they didn't even hurt a single hair. How can this be? Nami, oh my god, it actually made everyone rubberized. Red Luffy is really capable and can do whatever he wants. Monkey D. Luffy, oh. In comparison, I was so embarrassed, Roronoa Zoro. You are not the only one who is embarrassed. We are all embarrassed too. Vin smokes Sanji. That's right. Idiot green algae head. Look at the green algae head over there. One knife breaks through the sea and opens the way for Melly. How handsome. Look at you again, Roronoa Zoro. Hey, thanks for the compliment. I thank you for me over there. Island of the Gods. As soon as Enel was punished, he was about to eat the fruit sent by his servant, when suddenly, he froze. What's the situation? Why hasn't a single voice disappeared? There's still so many people. Enel is dumbfounded. His divine sanction has never missed. Ask for flowers, damn it. Guys from King High survived for me. No. This kind of thing is absolutely not allowed to happen. Extra large God's punishment. Suddenly, he used Thunderfruit's ability again, on the steps of Angel Beach. The father and daughter of Conies who just experienced the rest of their lives before they had time to breathe a sigh of relief. Suddenly, their faces froze again. Come again? One Usopp shook his head in annoyance, then simply sat down on the cloud steps and looked up at the sky, as if watching fireworks. Luffy also frowned. Is there something wrong with this guy? His Nika form is still there, and the assimilation effect is still there. Raise your hand again. Luffy propped up the sky for everyone. The lightning cluster, which was nearly 10 times thicker than before, disappeared without a trace again. Luffy looked at the Conies' father and daughter. This guy who discharges is the god in your mouth? Both father and daughter are numb at this time, nodding dully. Well, yes. Luffy shook his head speechlessly. Then you have been deceived. He is a shit god. He is just a lucky guy who ate Thunderfruit. Finally, he connected with what happened just now and thought about it. I almost understand. To put it bluntly, the god you're talking about is a guy who rules you by virtue of fruit power, and this guy doesn't take your life at all thing if the thick lightning cluster just now really fell, and if there is no rubber fruit assimilation, the Conies' father and daughter will definitely die. Enel didn't get the effect twice in a row. The whole person was shocked. This made him lose face. BD, where did these guys come from? With a bang, Enel stood up from his position. He turned into a flash of lightning and disappeared instantly. Angel Beach Luffy and his team didn't wait for the third lightning strike. So they brought Conies and his daughter to Angel Beach to relax. D. Sanji looked like he wanted a hero to save the beauty and said, Sister Conies, what is the situation with your magic stick? Can you tell us about it? Don't embarrass them. They won't say anything. Luffy patted Sanji on the shoulder. How do you know? Sanji has a puzzled expression. In their cognition, that guy is really like a god, holding the power of their life and death. We can ask them so easily now because we don't care about that guy. But they're different. They're afraid that even if they say something wrong, they will be accounted for by that guy, Luffy explained. Listening to what Luffy said, Robin was shocked, even considering the fear of Conies and his daughter. So his heart is so delicate. Thinking of this, Robin smiled and said, Yeah, Luffy is right. Let's not ask them. After we get rid of that BD god, they will definitely say, actually, there's no need to look for him. That guy's already here. Luffy looked up at the southern sky while talking. Everyone also looked at the past. I saw a bolt of lightning flashing through the sky at a very high speed in the blink of an eye. We have arrived in front of everyone. After the lightning hit the ground, it instantly condensed into a human form, Western region-style clothing, with a white headscarf, a diamond rod in hand, and a drum on the back. Say, Luffy looked at the weirdly dressed guy in front of him and asked calmly, You are the one who plays tricks on Sky Island, yaha! Ignorant idiots, call me God Enel. Picking out his ears, Enel laughed loudly. Idiot. Listening to Enel's speaking style, Luffy shook his head speechlessly. Then he stretched out his arm and instantly grabbed Enel's head, pulled back hard, and Luffy's knee pops out. Armament Haki winding. Conqueror's Haki winding. There's no doubt that Luffy doesn't like the turn-based battles where you hit me. Since you want to make a move, let's get it done quickly in the simplest and most effective way. Facing Luffy's attack, Enel laughed. He doesn't know armor color and conquerors. He only knows that he will not suffer any harm. Boom. Enel's world is instantly dark. Work 1. Chapter 111 Living on Sky Island. Learning to breed collectively. Please subscribe. Gecko Moria. Hey he. Did you see his expression? When Luffy's knee passed, he still had a mocking look. I laughed so hard. Don Quixote da Flamingo. Fur. This guy is treated at the same level as a sand crocodile. It's all a conqueror's winding top knee. Quinn. It's just as easy to lie down. Haha. Monkey D. Luffy. If I had the strength of Red Luffy back then, Angel Island would not have been destroyed. Roronoa Zoro. Don't feel guilty. We did our best. Vinsmoke Sanji. Yes. Now, compared with us on the opposite side, we must have a sense of urgency, strive to improve ourselves, and not leave any regrets in the future journey. Tony Chopper. Sanji said it well. Following Luffy's tyrannical knees, Enel came directly with a face full of peach blossoms and passed out on the spot. Silly. Coney's father and daughter are really completely stupid. This is the god of the Holy Land and the sky. However, it's just such a god, and it's over when this ordinary-looking young man in front of him lifts his knee up like this. At this time, Luffy looked at Coney's and his daughter. Now, can you tell us about this god? Okay. Coney's father woke up from shock, so he started talking about Enel's invasion of Sky Island 5 years ago, the other side Cloud Shinobi Village. Enel's voice is gone. His voice is gone. A little girl named Aisha rushed into the chief's house while shouting, "Plus, what? 23-inch, are you sure you heard it right?" The great warrior Wappa stood up with a startled expression on his face. The chief on the side also said in shock, "Aisha, listen carefully, you can't joke about this kind of thing." Aisha shook her head quickly. That's right. He heard that Enel went from the Island of the Gods to Angel Beach, where there are a few people from King High. Enel just met them, and his voice disappeared all of a sudden. Hearing Aisha confirm this again, all the soldiers in the tent gasped, their heart beating faster. Wappa, what a great opportunity. Yeah, let's go find Enel because kill him. This is our chance to take back our homeland. Go to Angel Beach. The warriors of Sandia looked at the chief and the great warrior Wappa with excited eyes. However, Wappa pondered for a moment and decided with firm eyes, no, don't go to Angel Beach. Let's go to the Island of the Gods. Kill the priests and soldiers. Warrior Mantis said in shock, what? Don't you want to kill Enel? Now that Enel's voice has disappeared, this is definitely a good opportunity for us. Wappa said calmly, no, those people from King High that Aisha heard can make Enel's voice disappear. Obviously, they're not easy to deal with. Let's go and clear up all the troubles of the priests and soldiers first, and then deal with them. At this time, the chief also stood up and said, Wappa is right. Eat all you can eat first. As for Enel, it would be best if he died directly in the hands of King High people. If the situation is not what we think, then now is not a good time to find him. Good. Seeing that the two most prestigious people in the entire tribe all made such a decision, the other warriors also agreed. Not long, the elite soldiers of Sandia are fully armed and set off. Fex, after listening to what Coney's and his daughter said about Enel, Luffy already understands how many bad things Enel has done. A guy who directly destroys his own hometown is still so insane. Although it's just Coney's father's one-sided words, but judging from Enel's actions, at least it's not too bad. So, as long as people from King High come up, all the residents of Angel Island must cooperate with the laws enacted by Enel to guide the people from King High to the Holy Land of God. Robin asked calmly, yes, in fact, our father and daughter were also sent to lead you to accept the sanctions. I'm sorry. Coney's father knelt down in front of Luffy and others with a plop. I'm sorry. Coney's also knelt down. Needless to say this, you can't even control your own life. If you kill you because of this, it would be too unfair. Luffy smiled slightly, reached out, and lifted the two of them to their feet. Since this Enel likes to play with ordinary people so much, let's play with him too. Luffy slapped Enel awake. Call. Enel let out a long breath, suddenly saw Luffy, and was about to erupt immediately. Boom. Luffy punches down. Enel sees a flower in front of his eyes. The sky is full of little stars. After waking up a little bit, Enel will have another seizure. Luffy strikes again. It was repeated about a dozen times in a row. Enel still explodes every time he wakes up. After all, being a god for so many years has always been a one-size-fits-all existence. How could Enel be persuaded by such a sudden situation now? In the end, Luffy cut off one of Enel's arms. Stop. Looking at Enel, who didn't dare to resist anymore, Luffy said lightly, you go ahead. Let's go to Cute Street. Usopp went up and kicked Enel. What are you looking at? Don't break your other hand. Following the ladder of clouds to Angel Island, many people noticed Luffy and his party along the way, but when they saw Enel with a broken arm, they all opened their mouths in shock. Coney's father also briefly explained the situation to the people around him from time to time. Cute Street is the busiest place in Angel Island. When Luffy and his group came here, there were already many melon eaters behind them, and the pedestrians on Cute Street have also noticed the situation here. kneel down. Conies dare to be bold and scolded Enel. Normally, even if Enel has already ended like this, Conies would not dare to yell at him. But Luffy insisted on her doing this, and even threatened her deliberately. If she didn't do this, she would let Enel go, regardless of the things here. No way. Conies can only bite the bullet Luffy has asked him to practice many times along the way. Now, when the people from Sky Island gather around, the fun will officially begin. When Conies yelled, "Kneel down," the people around were completely stunned. It actually made God kneel. This is simply unimaginable. However, what makes them even more unimaginable is the next moment, Enel really knelt down. Angel Island people opened their mouths wide open and watched this scene in shock. Conies scolded again. "Enel, report your identity." Enel said submissively, "I am God, Enel." Conies, show everyone a lightning strike. Everyone is dumbfounded. Is this kind of thing okay? While everyone was still stunned, a beam of lightning fell from the sky and struck Enel. Although it did not cause any damage effect, it can make everyone sure of one thing. That is, the person in front of you is indeed the real Enel. Conies continued. "Now apologies to everyone. Enel, hurry up and kowtow." While kowtowing and saying apologies, he is really a god. I'm not dreaming, am I? God actually apologized to us? He also broke an arm. Hey, Conies, what's going on here? People around are shocked and speak. At this time, Luffy took a knife from Zoro. The black armament haki covered the body of the knife, and Luffy chopped off Enel's other arm with one knife. Angel Island people suddenly exclaimed. Luffy looked at everyone. Now, his life and death are up to you. Those who agree to kill him raise their right hands, and those who don't want to kill him raise their hands. If more than 10% of the people don't want him to die, then I won't kill him. Abstention is not allowed. Those who abstain, I will kill them directly. Now, start voting with a show of hands. The reason for asking everyone to show their hands to vote, Luffy, is also for the sake of caution. As long as Enel is really the crazy BD that the Conies' father and daughter said, then there will be no surprises in this vote. When Luffy's cold and stern eyes swept over everyone, everyone subconsciously raised their hands and mouth's observation haki covered out. Sure enough, unanimously approved. Crack. Enel's head gurgled and rolled out. Oh, good kill. Very good. Seeing Enel's death with my own eyes, the people of Angel Island are completely excited after Enel is dealt with. Luffy and his party and Conies' father and daughter return to Conies' home. The Island of the Gods seems to be J. Although Zoro's observation haki is not as perverted as Luffy's, Conies' house is not too far from the Island of the Gods, and Zoro can still perceive part of the situation on the island. Luffy nodded. Well, it's Sandia's group and Enel's remaining gang. Of course, he has no intention of intervening in this battle at all. They have no friendship with Sandia, so there is no need to go to the pole to help others. Besides, when I first arrived in the sky, I was attacked by a Sandia warrior. It was kind of me not to kill him. As for killing Enel, it was purely because Enel killed himself. Take the initiative to provoke Luffy and his party. Then I didn't succeed in provoking him, and I actually wanted to ride on my face. Luffy is not made of mud, so can we not deal with him? Then, I heard about Enel's brilliant deeds from the Conies' father and daughter. Luffy is completely determined to kill Enel. Nami gently tugged at Luffy. Luffy, should we come forward to help the people of Angel Island and Sandia to coordinate and persuade them to sing a truce? After all, there are people who have suffered in their hometown. Nami very much hopes that others can live in peace. It turned out that Luffy just smiled and shook his head. After all, we are not the saviors, and it is impossible to control all corners of the world. Let's not interfere in the next thing. Nami didn't seem to give up yet, and whispered, but didn't we do well in the main country of Alabasta before? That's different. Nami, you have to know, whether it's Crocodile or the current Enel, they are actually destroyers of the balance. Alabasta was at peace till Crocodile did not go to Alabasta. And until Enel came here, the Angels and Sandia has been fighting for 400 years. And this is also a kind of balance. If the two of them really hope to live in peace, even without our intervention, they will sooner or later go to the road of peace. Although I can use powerful force to force the two parties to sign a peace agreement, but this kind of forced peace, once there is no force to suppress, it will only collapse CR. At this time, Luffy looked at Nami. Nami, let me ask you, shall we live in the sky forever? Nami didn't answer Luffy's question. Because she already understood what Luffy meant, she lowered her head and said sincerely, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have questioned you at 4.5. Ahaha. There's nothing wrong with questioning. Only through questioning and understanding again and again can we establish a tacit understanding of trust between our partners. Luffy haha smiled and rubbed Nami's head. Go to the end of the cloud and return to King High from there. Ask for flowers. Ask for evaluation. Ask for a reward. Ask for a monthly pass. Being involved in the war between Sandia and Sky Island Aborigines. Help the Aboriginals of Angel Island to win. Gion, the peace established by the two sides independently will definitely be much more stable than the peace established by the influence of external forces Usopp. So, with Enel over there killed, the only thing standing in the way of their peace is gone. Anyway, they're going to make peace eventually. Nami seemed to enjoy it. Her cheeks turned red. Nami, thinking about it carefully after we left Sky Island, the reason why Angel Island and the Shandia were able to live in peace is mainly because both sides have always recognized Gamfer's peace. Enter the prize-winning answering session. Monkey D. Luffy, they don't care about Sky Island anymore, but I think I did the right thing over there. B. Go back the way you came and land in King High. Flat idea. D. Being involved in the war between Sandia and the natives of Sky Island helps Sandia win Vinsmoke Sanji. Yes, Sister Coney's father told us that before Enel appeared, Gonford had been proposing peace between the two sides. Question: what will the Red Luffy group do next? At this moment, a question appeared on the big screen. Nico Robin. That's right. I think Red Luffy is right too. C. Not going anywhere, live in Sky Island and learn how to breed. Ding. Chapter 112 Shiki. Roger, let's overturn naval headquarters together. Please subscribe. Roxd Zebek. Okay, here comes the question again. After holding back for 2 rounds, this time I can finally continue to answer the questions again. Rox is so happy. Shiki. Huh. I can answer too. Sengoku. Choose B. GOLD Roger. B. Roxd Zebek. B. Shiki. You guys, horse riders. Seeing someone rushing to answer suddenly, Shiki realized that the answer to this question is obvious. In the previous video, Luffy mentioned that he will come back to exchange the bounties from the pirates in Magic Valley Town. If you think about it this way, the possibility of option B can be said to be very high. Edward Newgate. It's too late. Whitebeard hasn't done it for a long time. But just as he was about to do this question, someone took the lead, so he was very depressed. Crocodile. C. Don Quixote da Flamingo. Fufurfur. Are you stupid? Crocodile. Stop talking nonsense. Which one Lousy chooses is none of your business. Shiki. Damn it. I choose C too. Choice C looks like the chosen one. As a dead person, even if the answer is wrong, there is no need to deduct life anyway. Although option B, which is the most similar to the correct answer, has already been chosen, but Shiki doesn't want to waste the exact time for this question. Who knows if the next question will be an even more bizarre one? Or even if the answer is obvious, is it answered by someone else? Why don't you just answer the questions when you get the chance? Even if you make a mistake, you can enter the cooling time earlier and continue the customer service earlier. Don't answer this question. Don't answer the next question. If there are no questions later, wouldn't you be so angry? Crane is related to B, and D is related to E. If you look at it this way, option C is indeed possible. GOLD Roger. Then you choose. Crane. I'm old. This kind of thing is almost still left to young people, boy Roger. Don't you think so? GOLD Roger. Why does it feel a bit sour? Countdown to answer the question. With the end of the countdown to answering the question, the screen in the red frame video continued to play. Luffy. We also promised Uncle Coolie Guy to help him find out if the so-called Golden Town is in Sky Island. Where are we going to find the golden clock? Usopp asked. Luffy said, this matter is not a matter of rush, but since it has been confirmed that the Island of the Gods is a part of Gaia Island, then if there is no accident, the Golden Bell must be on the Island of the Gods. We will explore a little bit every day for the next period of time, and we will definitely find yellow ones. Explore a little every day? What will we do the rest of the time? Nami asked with some doubts. Luffy picked up the shellfish on the table. In the next period of time, we will learn how to raise various shellfish on Sky Island. When everyone heard it, Luffy's expression was stunned. Usopp didn't understand very much. He said suspiciously, no, can't we buy these shellfish directly? Coney's also nodded. That's right, you can buy it on Cute Street. Although the quantity is very limited, you can definitely buy it. Luffy smiled. You also said that the quantity is limited. Moreover, when I was talking with your father said that some shellfish are almost extinct, and the number of such shellfish and shellfish is even less pitiful. Haven't you thought about why this is the case? Coney's was taken aback for a moment, and then said softly, because these shells are very useful, so the collection is too much. This is one reason, Luffy nodded, and continued. But the most important reason is that none of you can maintain a continuous supply relationship between shellfish and humans. One-sided, endless demands. Everything will eventually be demanded and dried up. But if we can raise shellfish independently, then all kinds of shellfish will be continuously regenerated, so that Sky Island can get endless shellfish resources. After listening to Luffy's thoughts, everyone froze in place. Can shellfish be farmed? You know, in this world, because the ocean occupies more than 95% of the world's area, fish resources are very rich. As long as you go to sea, you can catch exotic fish. Compared to the number of marine life, the proportion of human beings is pitifully small. Even if all human beings run to the seaside to eat together 3 meals of small grilled fish a day, it is impossible to eat more than the speed of marine life regeneration. So, in this world, no one breeds marine life. At most, there are poultry and livestock. Even Sky Island. Kukai is so big, but there are only a few Sky Islands. The creatures in the Kukai are definitely enough to provide food for the people of Sky Island. In such a big background, farming marine life becomes a blind spot. It's even impossible for someone to think about it because it's so stupid. When Luffy proposed to raise Sky Island shellfish, the first reaction of the people present was unreasonable. But think about it carefully. It seems what Luffy said makes a lot of sense. Coney's eyes suddenly burst into light. Yes. Why didn't I think of it? Since many shellfish are about to become extinct, why can't we raise them artificially? Nami also understood and immediately exclaimed, Luffy, your idea is too constructive. Robin also murmured in shock. I never expected to hear such absurd things about farming shellfish in my lifetime, but I still feel that it is AH. Okay, since everyone agrees, from now on, we will be exactly 8 people, paired in pairs, and divided into 4 groups to observe and record the living habits of shellfish on the shallows. I'm with Luffy. Nami immediately hugged Luffy's arm. Then Robin-chan and I. Sanji suddenly looked at Robin with red eyes, however. Robin hugged Chopper directly. I'm with Chopper. Sanji suddenly burst into tears. Rocks D. Zebek. How could this happen? How could someone in this world do such an idiotic thing? I can't take it. Shit. I can't take it. Farming marine life is the absolute equivalent of total idiocy in this world. You have worked hard to farm for a year and harvested a ton of fish. People just go out and cast a net, harvest 2 tons of fish. That's why farming marine life is considered a fool's errand. Sengoku, damn. Dumb. Damn Red Luffy. For doing such a thing. Is he an idiot? GOLD Roger. Hey, it's all because Sengoku is so unlucky. Next time you kill him, you can't drink him and choose the same one. Shiki. I don't have any hope for this question at all. I didn't expect it to be right. Jihahaha. Roger, I'm going to be resurrected. Rox, I'm going to be resurrected. Rox D. Zebek. FKU. Your reward is definitely not resurrection. GOLD Roger. TSK. This sour smell can be smelled across the chat room. Charlotte Linlin. Isn't Captain Rox crazy? Kaido Ha. Don Quixote Doflamingo. How can the answer to this question be so outrageous? Sand Crocodile. Can you get this right? Sir Crocodile, I miss you. I just think this option is like the correct answer. Ding. Anyone who answers wrongly in this prize quiz will be punished. Rox D. Zebek. Deprive of the right to answer the next 2 rounds. Sengoku. Deprive of the right to answer the next round of questions. Deduct 11 months and 28 days of life. GOL D. Roger. The right to answer the next round of questions will be deprived, and 8 months of life will be deducted. GOL D. Roger. PFFF. 11 months and 28 days. Sengoku, you almost hit the Grand Slam. Shiki. Jiahahaha. What is character? This is called character. Last time Sengoku deducted 9 months or 10 months of life. This time it is almost 17. Edward Newgate. Man, if you do too many wicked things, the South Gate will suffer retribution. Gulalalala. Charlotte Linlin. Sengoku is an old thing. Another year has been deducted from his life. Won't he die of old age right away? Sengoku. BD Roger. You don't need me any better. GOL D. Roger. But I'm young. Shiki, yeah. But Roger is young. And I'm going to be young soon. Jaha. Rox D. Zebek. BD Golden Lion. Your rewards haven't come out yet. Will you be resurrected and cry you to death later? Ding. The top 3 correct answers to this quiz are Sir Crocodile, Shiki, and Bai. Congratulations to both of you. Get rewards. Congratulations to Sir Crocodile. Reward Blood Successor Boundary, Magnet Style. Congratulations, Shiki. Rewarded with a chance to revive. Shiki. Okay. Jahahaha. Roger. I'm gonna be resurrected. Let's join forces this time and turn Naval Headquarters upside down. 1 inch. Sakazuki. Stop wishful thinking. With me here, if you dare to resurrect in Naval Headquarters, I will let you go back to the underworld again. Edward Newgate. Magma Boy, stop talking. Don't forget Golden Lion's fruit ability. He will imitate Marineford, and you will be over. Go Sengoku. Damn, why is this happening? 1 year older, all of a sudden, Sengoku found that his hair has become more beautiful. The strength of the body is further weakened, although he was rewarded with the cassock of Dawei Tianlong. But if he grows old like this, any ability will be useless. Crane, Sengoku. Don't mess up, there are still questions to answer. Our Marines haven't lost yet. Zephyr. Yes, although you are 1 year older, Garp and I are younger. Don't worry. Monkey D. Garp. That's right. Don't worry, Zephyr and I are here. Sengoku. It used to be hard, but now it's even worse. Thank you both for your comfort. Ding. Because the Blood Successor Boundary, Magnet Style, is a magical thing from Otherworld, a special note is made. Boundary of Blood Succession, revised, Magnet Style remarks. The 5 basic escape techniques are Water Style, Fire Style, Earth Style, Wind Style, Lightning Style. The fusion of Wind Style and Earth Style will produce Magnet Style. Don Quixote Doflamingo. Wow, I actually got a reward of the same level as me, but without my line and my own ability Contract Pro. Sir Crocodile. Sorry, clown. This Magnet Style is specially made for sand. When the movie is over, I'll let you try my Sandburst Funeral. Jinbei, all you have obtained is this so-called Blood Succession Boundary Escape technique, which sounds very powerful. Sakazuki. That's pretty awesome. Especially my Lava Style. Polysolino, give me one some time. The battle between the Sandia warriors and the priests and warriors has begun. However, the Angel Clan didn't take the opportunity to attack Sandia, but under the leadership of the former god Gamfor, they also went to the other side's priests and soldiers. The Straw Hat Pirates started to record Bailey's life habits, of course. They didn't do this for the people of Sky Island, but for themselves. According to Luffy's idea, when you leave Sky Island, you must bring every kind of Bailey's seedlings, and when you return to King High, everything will be 12,000 voyages breed a variety of Baileys. Father and daughter Conies also joined the Straw Hat team after they understand what Luffy said, They also plan to learn shellfish farming and create a prototype of sustainable development for the future of Sky Island. The Straw Hat Pirates and their team will spend a few extra hours every day in addition to their normal practice to study shellfish farming. The life of the Straw Hat Pirates and Coney's father and daughter is still the same. But I heard that Sandia and the Angel Island tribe have teamed up to defeat all the priests and soldiers. Then, Shandia and the Angel soldiers led by Conqueror had another small-scale conflict, but Conqueror ordered the Angel soldiers to exercise restraint. The chief from Sandia also stood up and called for an end to the war. A month later, the Straw Hat Pirates and Coney's father and daughter have completely recorded the living habits of all shellfish and started breeding experiments. And the relationship between Sandia and the Angel race began to ease. Both sides have already begun to migrate many residents to the Isle of Gods. Everyone has a tacit understanding. Sandia is in the north, and the Angel clan is in the south, separated by a river. Time flies. 2 months later, the first farm Bailey has been certified. However, because of the long growth cycle of shock shellfish and rose shellfish, there's still in the experiment. The migration of Sandia and Angel clan has been completed very smoothly. They all own part of the land now and can grow food. At the same time, they began to build a new ring island around the Island of Gods with the cut island clouds. The living environment became more and more relaxed. Another week has passed. Luffy took the perfect experimental record and announced happily, "So far, we have mastered all the shellfish farming methods, except shellfish removal. Next, we're going to fulfill our promise to Uncle Genuinely Guy." Good. When I heard that I was going to find the Golden Bell, my partners were very happy. But at this moment, a beautiful melody suddenly resounded from the direction of the Island of Gods. Golden Bell, it rang. Chapter 113 Luffy. Let me tell you a story. Please subscribe. Capone Beach. The Golden Bell over there rang by itself. Trafalgar Law. Obviously, the people of Sky Island rang it themselves. Usopp. The situation over there is really as Red Luffy speculated. The Sandias and the natives of Sky Island have slowly established a peaceful survival mode. Nami. Yes. The half of the island where the Sandians live is the half of the island where the Golden Bell is located. As the descendants of the great warrior Conqueror, they rang the Golden Bell with their own hands. Monkey D. Luffy. The Golden Bell was ringing by the descendants of the great warrior Conqueror and passed on to the ears of Mont Blanc Nolando's descendants. This is really, as Uncle Coolie Guy said, so romantic. Mont Blanc Nolando. This is the romance of a man. Calgula. Yeah, this romance is like our friendship. It will never go out of style. Luffy. This is the sound of the Golden Bell. Suddenly heard the melody of the Golden Bell. Nami shouted in surprise. Although Nami has never heard the sound of Golden Bell before, there are some things that you can immediately recognize even if you touch it for the first time. Such a beautiful melody suddenly sounded on the entire Sky Island. Except for the sound of the Golden Bell, it can't be anything else. Can't be wrong. This beautiful bell must be ringing the Golden Bell. Luffy nodded. He stretched and laughed heartily. It seems that we don't need to find it ourselves. Haha. I believe that Uncle Coolie Guy has already heard the melody of the Golden Bell, but let's go and ring the Golden Bell too. It can be regarded as fulfilling the promise to Uncle Coolie Guy. Luffy said, "Yeah." Everyone was excited. Island of the Gods. When the Straw Hat Pirates came to the Shandora ruins, a large number of Sandias and Sky Island aboriginals had gathered here. They were all attracted by the wonderful bell of the Golden Bell. The great warrior Wappa is standing on the base of the golden clock, using them to build a bumper that is hitting the clock face. This is already the 100th collision, and he was crying while knocking. Probably exhausted, he let go of the hammer, knelt down on the ground, looked up at the sky. Calgera, we did it. We did it. The lamp of Shandora, we lit again for you. The lamp of Shandora. The lamp of Shandora. People in Sandia are all cheering excitedly. The Aborigine 797 of Sky Island was also moved to tears by this touching scene. At this moment, a voice suddenly shouted, "Hey, can we knock too?" This sound is not loud, but it can be heard clearly by everyone. Everyone present subconsciously cast their eyes on the owner of the voice. Ah, it's him. He is the King High man who killed Enel. My God, I thought they had already left, but they're still on Sky Island. When Luffy killed Enel, he went to Cute Street to kill Enel, just to eliminate the psychological shadow that Enel left on the people of Sky Island. After that, Luffy and others started a long and patient study of aquaculture. So those who saw the Straw Hat Pirates thought that Luffy and others had left Sky Island long ago. Of course, there is one person who actually knows, Aisha from Sandia. It's just that, in order not to cause everyone to panic, Aisha didn't say that Luffy and the King High people are still on Sky Island. Now, when Luffy and his group appear here, I feel a little scared this is the one who can kill Enel. Are they going to be the new Enel? Suddenly, Aisha, who was standing beside the chief of Sandia, said timidly, "They are the ones who killed Enel. It's them." Hearing this, all the warriors in Sandia immediately became vigilant on the pedestal of the golden clock. Wappa stood up, staring at Luffy and the others solemnly. "What are you doing?" On the other side, on the side of the natives of Sky Island, Gonfer also rode his Pegasus to Wappa's side, which seems to express the strong alliance between the natives of Sky Island and the Shandia. Gonfer first gave a salute to Luffy and his group, and then said, "Mighty King High people, we are very grateful to you for eliminating that BD Enel. I don't know why you came to visit suddenly. If you're a guest, we are very welcome. After all, he is a man who has been a god, and his words are impeccable, but at the same time, you are implying, if you're not here as guests but have some bad ideas, then we will definitely not sit still." Luffy pointed at the golden clock and said calmly, "I'm here for it." What? As soon as these words came out, all the Kfei people from Sky Island were all furious. Especially the soldiers of Sandia all raised their weapons. As for the natives of Sky Island, some of them also raised their weapons, but those who saw Luffy beheading Enel with their own eyes didn't have the courage to raise their weapons at all. You are actually trying to get your hands on the lamp of Shandora. The great warrior Wappa glared angrily and immediately raised the incendiary cannon on his body. Gonfer also raised a spear inside. He cherishes this hard-won piece very much. Now, if someone wants to destroy this piece, no matter who they are, they can only desperately guard this piece. Luffy smiled slightly. "Everyone be safe and don't be impatient. I want to share with you a storybook about us in King High. Who wants to hear your shitty stories? If you want to fight, fight. We are not afraid of death. Even if we risk our lives, we must protect our land. Our Angel Clan and Sandia advance and retreat together." That's right. Indi is the common homeland of Sandia and the Angel race. Tashigi. Red Luffy. Why didn't he tell everyone the truth? If everyone knew the truth, they wouldn't be so hostile to them. Jewelry Bonnie. What you said. Even if you tell the truth, it must be a process. Who can tell everything in a few seconds? Skillickman. Even if you really say everything in a few seconds, I'm afraid the speed of speech is so fast that other people can't understand anything blah blah blah. Joel D. Roger. This Marine kid, we don't understand what Red Luffy is doing, Crane. Indeed, what Red Luffy did is not stupid. On the contrary, he is very smart. Gion. Red Luffy only used one sentence to strengthen the relationship between the Shandia and the Angel Clan. Nico Robin. Looking at the way they fight against each other, it is obvious that they cherish this hard-won peace even more. Sorry, I'm not discussing with you whether you want to hear or not. I must share this story with you while speaking. An incomparable and powerful deterrent instantly spread from Luffy's body. The terrifying coercion is like a giant palm falling from the sky, suppressing everyone at once at this moment. Everyone feels as if a big hand is holding them firmly. They can't even move, let alone fight. Ganfer's big bird hummed, then changed back to its original form, and landed beside Wappa with Gonfer. Wappa and Gonford are the same. At this time, it seems that they are directly bound by some kind of terrifying shackles, and they can't move. Then, Luffy looked at Nami. "Share it with them, Nami nodded, then took out the story of Nolando the Great Liar from his small bag and began to read it to everyone at first. Everyone thought it was inexplicable, but when the name Calgera appeared, All the Sandians widened their eyes in shock. That's the name of their ancestors. And the other man, named Mont Blanc Nolando, obviously established a deep friendship with Calgera in 400 years, and also saved the existence of Sandia. One then because the island where the Sandia lived was washed up into the sky. Mont Blanc Nolando was regarded as a big liar by the people of the whole world, and all his previous adventure stories were also designated as lies. In order to stick to this friendship, Calvilla asked the descendants to light the lamp of Shandora no matter what, because he was afraid that one day, when Nolando or the descendants of Nolando wanted to come to the island again, they could not find their way. When the story was finished, everyone present was silent. The great warrior Wappa burst into tears. The old chief also has tears in his eyes. Ancestor's friend actually endured so many years of unjust injustice. After listening to this story, when Wappa looked at Luffy and the others again, there was no vigilance or anger in his eyes. He choked with sobs and said, "You guys actually want to ring the golden bell, right?" Luffy nodded, "Yes." In the sea area of King High below Sky Island, there's an uncle named Mont Blanc Coolie Guy. We were entrusted by him to come up to see if the gold is in the sky. Wait, you said that uncle's surname is Mont Blanc. Suddenly realizing something, Wappa's eyes widened. Luffy continued, "That's right. This uncle is actually a descendant of Mont Blanc Nolando, because Nolando is regarded by the world as a..."
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.